Let's go! Skol, 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 baby! Let's go!
Woo!
Let's go, baby.
Let's go indeed.
What up, fellas? And hello, Vikings fans. This is Let's Go legend Michael Fish, and welcome to the Let's Go show. With me, I have the Italian stallion, David Rinaldi. He who greets with smoke, Shaq.
Still backwards.
And Captain Positivity, Cody Bowden. So this week, we have a recap of the Titans game. We're going to talk a little bit about our visit to Nashville, which was rocking. We got a preview of our first game against the Bears this season, and also we've got our predictions and hot takes.
So, Fish, Rinaldi, and Cody, how was y'all trip to Nashville? Tell us a little bit about the weekend experience.
He did not read that off a teleprompter.
Of course not.
Let me tell you something. Anyhow.
All right,
I'll start you off.
Go ahead. You start off, Fish. Start off, Fish.
It is the best time I've had with my clothes on in a long damn time, guys. It was a good time. Saturday we hit Broadway, as did about 5,000-6,000 other Vikings fans. No exaggeration. It was purple. Nashville was purple.
Wall to wall.
Well,
What'd you think, Cody? What was your highlights of the Nashville trip?
the highlights of the Nashville trip, just seeing all the Vikings fans there. That was pretty encouraging, knowing that even though there's some people out there that are really negative about this team because of the way we play games against lesser opponents, but they still show up, and it just shows how rampant this fan base is, like how dedicated they are to this team, that they're traveling all the way to Nashville, even though it's a nice little vacation spot, and hitting down Broadway on a Saturday night was pretty fun. But yeah, just showing the dedication to the Vikings fans, willing to travel. And this isn't the first time I heard about a stadium getting packed with all purple either. So awesome. Good job, Vikings fans.
Yeah, every game I've been to on the road's been absolutely packed with Vikings fans. And now in the case of the stadium, Fish and I were just talking about it was like 65 to 70%. And that, again, no exaggeration. That's kind of what I would say it was 65 to 70% of Vikings fans. But as far as my take, Shaq, on what went down there were like three things that I just got to point out. Number one, Let's Skol showed up pretty big time, my man. My man Fish got challenged to get some Let's Skol people in a spot on Broadway and do the Skol chant. Now, I'm sure we've got some clips of that, hopefully somewhere. Maybe you've seen it posted up. But I got to tell you how it happened because it was pretty sick. We were supposed to meet in front of this boot barn or someplace like that at 8 o'clock. And like we looked around and there was like some people there that we knew that actually showed up for the thing. And as 8 o'clock, that bell started ringing. Fish is standing out there. He's got his leather jacket on. And I don't know how it happened, man. But all of a sudden, these two guys came in from mine and Cody's right. This other guy was right in front of Fish that started lead, and they all started to chant the same time at exactly the same thing. So it went from 5 people to, I'm going to say 60 in 4 seconds. Literally. It was like nobody-ish, and then holy shit. And I'm telling you right now, Let's Skol represented on Broadway in Nashville. We had the biggest Skol chant anywhere I saw in the 2 nights that I sat out there with 6,000 Viking fans. We did it. We did it. It was really, really fun to do. And then we got good and drunk, and I guess that's the 3 things.
That's always good.
Not me.
Fish got bodyguard duties.
People kept force feeding me rum and cokes. I'm like, that's enough, guys. Oh, here's another one. And that one's pretty good.
And like Rinaldi was saying, that video, there's been videos posted to TikTok. You can check us out on TikTok to see the Let's Go chant that Fish has started.
Yeah, man, it was cool. It was nice to see it too.
Yeah, it really was. It was interesting because I started a group chat about it, and I had like 60 people where, it's like, I got a group of 10, I got a group of 10, where I felt like we were going to have like 50, 60 people. And that, we had a small group of people there, and I was not ready because I wanted to do like a promo, build up to it and kick it off. And then everybody just kind of coalesced on us at once.
It's wild.
And the match got lit, and I was like, oh shit, let me go. And I barely got, the video done. One take, got it, because here I was going, maybe I should like do a sort of a early, intro to it, and then just be able to record the Skol chant. But it all just fired off. It was like the fuse lit, and it was like crazy, man. And there were a lot of Skol chants on Broadway, a lot of them. But ours was the biggest.
Ours, we brought it, man. And you know how we do it next time? I already know. I am bringing a drum. I've got enough of them. I am bringing a drum.
Because
but
that's
you got
what I was actually thinking. I was like, how am I going to tempo this thing? I really wanted to tempo it, I was like, am I going to be stomping my foot on the damn pavement to try to tempo it? I didn't even have a chance, man. It just went. And I was like, okay. It was great.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
Even the game was fun. That stadium, I mean, the walk to the stadium was a long walk, but the stadium was fun. Just chilling outside of the opening gate and just drinking beer on the lawn. Full cooler that David dropped about 4 times on the way there.
At least twice, and then his buddy dropped twice. Yeah, it was a good time. Skol, Sarah. Let me throw out some Skols to some people real quick. George, as ever, we appreciate you, Skol, buddy. Sarah, something we'll never
sticks.
guess.
Chicken tiki masala.
Fish sticks.
I'm going to say rhubarb pie.
Fish sticks.
Fish sticks.
Chicken pot pie.
There you go.
Well, we're all waiting, Sarah. What is it?
Come on, girl, hit us up. Who else can we Skol while we're waiting for Sarah?
Squirrel soup. Interesting.
Squirrel soup.
Wow. Kind of left me speechless there. I mean, I would eat squirrel soup, but it wouldn't be.
Had squirrel in Alaska one time. That's about it.
It's all right. It's okay. They peel easy.
Little chicken legs. Little legs.
You skin those bastards real easy. They're made for food.
Yeah.
They were made.
So let's talk about the actual game, guys. I'd say we looked a little better this week than we did against the Jaguars. We beat the Titans 23-13. We have moved to 8-2. Skol, Robbie. And we got a double-digit victory, and it honestly really didn't even feel that close. It felt like we were in command of that game. We were a couple of plays away from it being 30-6. I don't know if I'm out on Naylor, but I think I'm out on Naylor. Skol, Daniel. And so let me start you off, Cody. Was there any point in this game that you were worried?
Not really. I mean, after the 98-yard bomb that Levis threw, they were running with Levis. They were running with Levis a lot in this game, and then their run game couldn't. No, the run game probably is their best part of their offense, and they couldn't even get nothing going. So as long as we were stopping that, the only thing that worried me the most was Vikings playing typical Vikings football, and somehow finding a way to keep this game close, keeping this team, the Titans, in the game, even though they shouldn't even be in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So it was just typical Vikings footballs that I was watching out there. That's what worried me the most.
David?
Yeah, man, I was never worried either. It was just the getting through the stuff that they did do wrong. The fumble, of course, again in the high red zone, right? I mean, we moved the ball, and then here we go again, and then that 98-yard pass was. I mean, they were certainly trying to make that safety. There is no doubt in my mind they were trying to find a way to keep that ball inside that 2-yard line, and it didn't work. And obviously, Metellus took a bad line to that ball. But honestly, even after that happened, I think our defense just, other than that one play, They had swag. They were not. I was not worried about that defense or that quarterback or that team at all. Not even a hair. So no, it was a dominating performance with a non-dominating score, which is what we've done for 2 weeks. And I'll tell you right now, if we continue to do that, you ain't gonna hear a whole lot of shit about it from me at all.
Yeah. Do you think that's funny how the Vikings kind of like they play? I mean, they'll dominate a team on every single statistic besides the score. You know,
Well, I don't think they're built for it. I mean, I keep saying it every single week. I mean, they are not built. They're built to score quick and hard. And you know, my hope is, and I'm going to probably jumping ahead right now, but my hope is that that's how they can play and turn on that fast, quick score thing when they need to. And until they need to do it, let's let them keep finding ways to just dink and dunk and make it down the field, keep moving the chains, keep time of possession. And until they need that, let's not use it. I mean, I think that's kind of what's happened. That's my take on what's happening. I could be way wrong. I don't know. But it just seems to me that they're forcing that issue. Ball control, move the chains. They don't need to score in 35 seconds on every possession. And I think that we've been saying that before they started doing it, and then they started doing it, and this is what you get. You get a 21-9 game. You get a 26-14 game. And that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that before we have to turn it on again. Hopefully we have it in the tank when we need it.
Yeah, so Shaq, were you worried? Were you impressed by anything? Were you disappointed by anything?
So I would say I was worried a little after like Cody brought up the 98-yard touchdown, because I feel like that was the perfect opportunity for the Titans to start stacking momentum on top of what was going on. And it's like the things that worried me was a lot of these deep shots that Levels was taking was to open receivers, and it was pretty good accuracy. So it's like if a quarterback that was a little bit better than Levis could have probably came back in that game. I was impressed with Sam Darnold's mobility to avoid some pressures. I would say Sarah had brought up a point about penalties. I feel like the Vikings, we can't rely on the refs to win games a lot. Even though the refs did call a lot of penalties, and rightfully so, it's not like they were just throwing the flag to throw the flag. The Titans was fucking up a lot this game. But we can't rely strictly on the referees to help us. Flim-flam. We can't rely on the refs to help us because we're not the Chiefs. They're not going to do this week in and week out.
So
imagine
I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm going to say this about what Sarah said about the Titans fans think we're frauds. No, Titans fans, you're just not good enough to overcome pre-snap penalties. Clean up your own damn penalties, because there were plenty of pre-snap penalties by the Titans, and if you'd have had a clean game, it'd have been a more competitive game. And no, you're just not that good. But David, we got our first missed extra point. Did that make you go, oh, there's the team I remember?
Yes, that's exactly what I did. I was and with Romo, come on, man. We have to expect it. It's a second week in. I mean, the dude's going to miss a kick or two. Thank God we only have 2 more games with Romo, and he's been really fine other than that one kick. Hopefully it doesn't come at a point where we need him to make one. And I think we should expect to see 1 or 2 more. But yeah, that was it was exactly what I had expected, and there it was. It's going to happen. It might happen again.
Skol, Alex.
Are we sure we need him for 2 more? That's it?
Well, he's played 2, and I think he was a 4-game IR. So
yeah,
but I don't know how fast Riker gonna heal.
We shall find out. I'm expecting 4. If it's more than that, it's more than that. And then we miss more kicks.
4th and 8, go for it.
Oh man. So let's talk about Sam for a second. He was one of his best. It was one of his best games, not just statistically, but no mistakes. Other than, and I'm gonna say it, that first fumble was on him. I'm going to say that. He was elusive. He was 20 for 32, which for those of you who are not mathematicians, that would be 62.5%, which falls in line with his career stat. 246 yards, which seems to be what we're going to get from Sam Darnold. But more importantly, he had 2 throwing and passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions, which if he's going to keep doing that, we're going to be able to compete with anybody, including the team that so many Vikings fans are afraid of. How y'all feel about that?
Yeah, good. Good game managing. I mean, that's what Sam Darnold should be in the first place, is a game manager. He's got the talent to sling the rock, right? He's got the arm strength to do that. Just not. He doesn't have the accuracy, I don't think, to really sling that rock down there, or he's not even that smart to look at it.
He had 9 different receivers caught passes from him, including 8 targets to Addy. How do you feel about him focusing in on Addy like that?
I don't think he's really. I think he's finally focusing on multiple receivers. He's finally going through progressions other than just focusing on Addison, because he knew what the Titans were going to do with Jefferson. They were going to double him up and triple him up, right? So maybe he dug into the playbook a little more, found out that hey, the progressions are there. You have all these weapons, but yeah, seeing Addison get 8 targets or 8 receptions is a big thing of success. Did he leave after the first half? I thought he left the game after the first half, right?
Yeah, I think it was like the third quarter somewhere, but yeah, it was.
He left the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They say he was cramping.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, it's encouraging that he's finally looking around to see that he has all these weapons now.
And Shaq, so with those type of stats and with him spreading the ball around more and going to our wide receiver 2 more. Do you think that we can win with this version of Sam?
Yes. I see it as, so right now the problem is JJ is still getting double covered. So it's like, why is JJ still getting double covered and we still struggling to get like elite passing to the rest of the team? Right. That means Addison should be getting one-on-one coverage. TJ should be getting one-on-one coverage. And Aaron Jones is a capable receiver threat out the backfield. So, like, for KOC and Donald to keep focusing strictly on JJ, it's kind of like, it frustrates me to the point where, what's the point of having all these weapons if we just going to force feed JJ all the time? Not taking anything away from JJ. He's an elite receiver, probably the best in the league right now. But spread the ball around, and I love what we're doing right now. You said 9 different receivers caught a pass from Sam Darnold. Let's keep that up. That spreads the opponent's defense thin, making sure that they have to cover everybody at all times and not just have 3 people creeping towards JJ and then get a pressure on Sam Darnold, and that's our offense.
Yeah, I think it goes deeper than that. I think we can win with the way it looked in that game, except for one thing. 2.6 yards per carry. We cannot continue to run the ball at 2.6 yards per carry. We have to be able to run the ball, especially and then take it even a step further. How about first and goal on the 1 yard line, and we fail 4 times and got a call. I saw a stat today. Aaron Jones has taken 8 runs inside the 5 yard line at the goal line, and he's got 1 touchdown. So he ain't the answer. I don't think they think Akers is the answer. I don't think Chandler's the answer. We got a problem there. That short yardage run is a problem. Now, there's a lot of things we could talk about. I mean, you'd think CJ Ham could move a pile. You would think he could move a pile. You would think he could. But our running game right now is a problem. And we cannot win in that short, move the chains offense if we don't establish a run, and we did not do that. And I got to throw one more thing out about that. It's not just the running backs. We moved from Ingram to Reisner, and that boy does not run block the way Ingram does. So you got to pick your poison there, man. And I don't know that we have an answer for either one of those 2 problems in the run game, and that's where it starts.
Well, I'm just going to jump on that and say, even with Ingram in the game, in short yardage possessions, we're not moving people. We do not get push. That's probably a fishism, but the only way we gain short yardage gains is with a quarterback sneak. And
With what?
yeah, I'm concerned about the run game too.
With what?
With a quarterback sneak.
Oh, all right. First down.
That's
Hands
it.
down.
It's Sam Darnold going up the middle. If they plug that up, we're in trouble. Cody, are you concerned about the run game with that, 25 carries? I mean, that's good. 25
Yeah.
carries is good, but that's 64 yards ain't.
I'm pretty concerned about that too, because I mean, you look at the team to beat is the Lions, right? And the defense has enough to slow them down, right? Just enough to slow them down, but it's not going to slow them down to where they're still not scoring 30. I mean, they still scored 30 on us, right? It just we don't have the offense now that the running game it doesn't look too good right now. It could change here. We're playing a Bears team that we can run against, right? But if we don't have the run game going against the Lions, right, our offense isn't going to be able to beat them. They'll just beat us again 32-29 or,
Some
close
would
game.
say that the team to beat would be the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears definitely need to be beat this week. That's 100%. Yeah.
Jack, you worried?
So I am a little worried, because I know we was talking about this. Like, look what the Lions did to the Jacksonville. It all started with that run game. Their running backs had like 2 touchdowns each in that game, and then they just started piling up the score. Our problem is when we get in that red zone, we were like, all right, hand the ball off. It didn't work. Pass, field goal. And it's like we need to establish some. I don't want to say trick plays, but we need to establish some rhythm between the run and pass in the red zone. Because if we can't run the ball in the red zone, they're just gonna play back, and then Sam Darnold gonna have to force it in somewhere.
Skol Peterson. We just haven't been a muscle team for a long time. And I mean, in the red zone, we're inside the 10. All they got to do is count on their front four to plug us up and sit back and use the back goal as a 12th defender, and it's hard for us to score. We're scoring touchdowns from 15 yards out or more, and that's just the way we're going to have to do it. But I will say this: that defense looked pretty good, didn't it, boys?
Yeah.
I mean, other than one play.
Man,
Other than one play.
It's like B-Flow went through the $5 DVD bin at the Walmart and just fucking picked out some gems that you've never seen before. It's like a top 10 favorite movie, just getting that defense rolling.
He's like, oh, look, Man on Fire's in the $5 bin? Hell yeah.
Man on Fire.
So Levis was the Titans' leading rusher with 18 yards.
It was bad.
And, man, if not for that 98-yarder, he would have had under 200 yards passing. We had a 5-sack game. Ginkle, 2. Jones. What? Patrick Jones had 2 sacks. Where's he been? Cashman had 1. We had 10 total tackles for a loss. So, Shaq, lead us off. What's your thoughts on the defense's performance? And how confident are you, especially with them being able to stack up against teams with winning records, Lions and whatnot, and going against the Packers at home? How confident are you at them being able to carry us?
So, if we're doing on a 1 to 10 scale, I'll say my confidence is a 7. Only because right now we got Grenard playing great to elite. We got Van Ginkel playing great to elite. And then we got, the rest of our pass rush, Patrick Jones and Dallas Turner, who come in here and there and make a play very rarely, but, they're still contributing. So when our pass rush isn't getting there, though, that's where we start to see the issues, which is our secondary. And we can't – it's like looking at the sideline view, it's like certain teams know where the open zone is, and then our safeties aren't fast enough to get there. I love Harrison Smith. I love Cam Barnell, but it's like they don't have the elite speed to get to the exact zone when the quarterback sees it, and then he rips it there. That's why you start to see like an open catch and the person get like 15, 20 yard a catch. So if we could just either, we're just gonna have to rely on that pass rush. Honestly, we're gonna have to find creative ways to keep the pass rush going all game because our secondary does get tired, and I feel like they're playing above their means because we currently lead the league in interceptions, but we can't, like David said, we can't always rely on that to fall back on. So I'll leave it with a 7 out of 10.
Let me throw some Skols out real quick. Skol Jason, Skol Hagar, Skol Nick. And I'm a little disappointed that not a damn person has asked where Keith is. Why hasn't he showed up yet? And so Keith's doing some family things, but I expect him to get here a little bit later on in the call. Our captain hasn't missed a week. He won't let us take a week off. We're going to have a new collective bargaining agreement at the beginning of the next calendar year where we're going to lobby for some paid time off. We're going to, maybe some time and a half, but yeah, there's a joke in there somewhere, guys. But anyhow, so I don't know, man. Let me tell you what I think about, the offense, and let's talk about the Lions. I think we're going to be able to turn it on when we play them. I think that we're going to have our highest offensive output when we play them because we're going to have to. We're going to have to keep up with them. And I think that our defense is going to be able to do pretty much what it did in the first meeting. The Lions been running it up on everybody, but they didn't run it up on us.
They scored 32 on us.
Yeah, but you know what they didn't do? They didn't run the ball. They didn't run the ball the way they are against everybody else. And to go back to the question about that defense, man, that's the one thing that we are able to do. That I thought that the weakest part of our defense was the interior defensive line, and it may still be. I'd like to see a whole lot more push on the quarterback and passing downs. But man, they know how to clog up that middle and let the running backs, the linebackers, just stuff them. Man, they are doing a really good job of clogging up that middle. So maybe the outside runs are where I think that we're susceptible, and not many teams are running outside against us. I mean, I think that we are forcing and playing a defense where they have to take that dagger shot, and it hits every once in a while. But other than that, man, I'll be honest with you. I think this defense is prime and ready to go. You guys put a 7 on it, I'll throw an 8 at it. I think that they're swagging, man. They're swagging. They have 33 points scored against them in the last 3 games. Now they were patsy games, but they still had to come out and stop them. It's NFL teams, no matter how you look at it. And they only scored 33 points in the last 3 games, and we got another team that we can hold down in that range. I got a hot take that's still alive, man. If we can hold these guys to 10 points this week, I win, right? So that's a hot take that's still alive, and I think that we have a shot at doing it. And again, it starts the run game. So we'll talk more about the Bears in a few minutes, but that defense it looks like it can hold it up.
Yeah, I don't have the issue with the defense. I'm very confident in. I think they will slow down the high scoring teams out there like the Lions, right? I mean, they did. They slowed them down the last time we played them, right? It's just our offense didn't play up to the standard it needed to play up to, right? We still gave up 2 rushing touchdowns, 117 rushing yards to Gibbs at 7.7 yards a carry, but it still did enough to slow them down because that team's going to go at 100 miles an hour at us, right? We're probably going to slow them down to 90. All right, we got to figure out a way to get over that hump and try to get past them. So having T.J. Hawkinson not in that game against the Lions, I think would have been the difference maker. And I'm still going to stand by that word. And I think he's the one that's going to take this offense to another level. He's only been back for 2 games.
I'm excited for Robbie to get on, and I want to see him defend the stance of they won. He said they won, Fish. Okay. They won by 2. And yet, okay, so in that point, you're saying whether you lose by an inch or lose by a mile, it doesn't matter, right? But then we go on and we talk about how the Lions are blowing out teams that we're beating by 3, and all of a sudden the amount that they won by matters. What is it? Is a win and a loss a loss? A win and a loss? Or does it matter how much you win by or how much you lose by? Because you don't get to have it both ways in the argument. You don't get to say, yeah, Fish, what matters is We lost, even though we only lost by 2 points to them. But what really matters is that they blew out the Titans and the Jaguars, and we did not blow them out by 40. So, yeah. No, we lost to the Lions by 2 damn points. We were in that game. We could have won it. We actually had the lead in the fourth quarter. If my faulty memory serves me properly, we had the lead in the fourth quarter on them.
Yeah. Just it's funny. Like it seems like they get the ball and they score every drive. We get the ball, we'll score a drive, punt twice. All right, and that's
guys. Let's bring Robbie on. Let's let him get it off his chest.
Let's go.
Let's see what he's got to say.
You summoned.
And in this corner,
You summoned. Father.
yes, bring it on, buddy.
Did you all ever think at one point in that game? Let's reverse the Lions. Fair enough. We're fighting them, doing Lion stuff, Viking stuff. That we were ever in that game. If you say yes, you're fucking delusional.
In the Lions game,
You're fucking delusional. If you ever
he
thought for a
took the lead in
second
the fourth quarter. How delusional
for
is
that long, knowing full well they got 2 minutes left, they need a field goal to win, and we all knew the outcome, and that's exactly what happened.
Slow down. We were 1 first down away from winning that game. We were
Fine.
1 first down away from winning
That's
that
so
game.
illogical. They were 2 points
It's
away
not
from
illogical.
losing.
It's 1
I'm
first
sorry.
down away. We
They
had
were 3 points away from
All we had
losing.
to do was convert to 1 first down and we won.
All
Done.
we had to do was stop Jameer Gibbs, and we were fine. That never
We did.
happened either. Do you see how this
Well,
works? They
Yeah, but
beat
see,
the
Robbie-
shit out of us all game long.
Robbie, you're
Hey,
acting
Dan.
like they were up the whole game and we scored a cosmetic touchdown to make
That's
it close.
pretty much what happened.
It's not what
we
happened.
took
We
the
got a defensive
lead.
touchdown. They stopped our offense all fucking game. We got a
took the
defensive touchdown.
lead. We took the damn lead. It was
With
not
2
cosmetic.
minutes
We were
left.
not down by 13 and
But
scored
we
a
all knew
touchdown
the
to
goddamn
make it
outcome.
6.
And you know what? After they beat us, they just kind of took off.
You knew the outcome.
Now,
Okay.
now they beat the teams more and more and more, and they have more momentum than any team in the NFL right now. So when they get to us, we're not just gonna get beat. Don't even watch this shit. Just fucking go. Like I said, go do some chores or something. Whatever. Like take a college class. Whatever you want to do. Don't watch that game.
Peterson, I think your aunt does have
Robbie,
balls.
I get it. There's a difference between we as fans saying, "Oh, there's this impending sort of doom. We scored and they get the ball with 2." Yeah, there's the difference between that and then being the actual team and with 2 minutes or whatever left in the game, going up and taking the lead and having a chance to win. This was not we were down by 2 scores and we scored a cosmetic touchdown to make it look like we only lost by 1. We took the damn lead late in the game. It's
Fish,
not like we weren't actually in that game.
Do you actually believe that we can beat this team? Like really?
Here's what I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hold on,
here-
David. Hold on 1 second. Fish, you really believe that?
Yes.
How? How do you believe that?
So-
I need to comprehend that.
so you're telling me that if they play him, if
The
they
role
play
of
him,
Fish will now be played by David. Fish, explain that to me, please.
why is it got to be
David,
Fish?
David, give me
But I
one-
was
give me
talking
1
to
second,
him.
David.
Well,
David,
you're talking to
I'm
me
gonna
too. You're on our show,
Oh,
not
oh
just
my
Fish's.
God. No, I'm sorry, Fox and Friends. I'm talking to Fish at the moment.
No, you're talking
David,
to all of us.
David, let me give one quick answer and then
Go
I'll
ahead.
just turn
Thank
it
you,
right
sir.
over to you. Okay, Robbie, how do we beat them? Brian Flores makes a simple adjustment.
No.
to
How
stop-
do you believe that? I'm still
Okay, I'm telling you because I'm not basing it on feelings. I'm basing it on an actual tactical approach. Robbie, you
I'm
can throw
listening.
your hands in your. I feel like
I'm
I'm
listening,
arguing
Fish, I'm
with an
listening.
ultra liberal about politics right now.
Hey.
Robbie, Brian Flores makes one adjustment and takes the dagger route away. We win. Go ahead, David.
If we play them 10 times, we will win. You got to believe we win 3 of them, 4 of them, 2 of them. You put a number on it. We're 0 for 10 against that team in your opinion. 0 for 10.
currently
Oh, yeah.
as they are right now.
So why play the game? Why play the game? Why play the game?
As that team is right now, we haven't beat them yet. Since they drafted well 2 years ago, we have yet to fucking beat them.
4 games, dude. If we play them 10 times, we win 1. How do you
So
know it's
far,
not the 1
that's
we play?
100%
Or
wins on their
or
part.
the 2 we play, or the 3 we play. That's a ridiculous way to look at a season. It's
David,
not the way football
right
works.
now,
It's not the
question
way
you
football
just
works.
asked me is happening. So far, we're 0-4.
So far, we're 0-4.
0-6.
So far, we're 0-4. So far.
That team is
Hey, Robbie.
9-1 and the number one team in the NFL. That is a fucking nasty team. I don't want to say this. I'm just trying to make it clear to you guys, thinking that we're going to get past the second round in any way, shape, or form. And some of y'all are so delusional about the damn division. It's ridiculous. We're not winning the damn division. We're going to be in the playoffs. We all know that. I hope for success. Yay! Second round. I don't want to lose another goddamn championship. Definitely not to them. Fuck that.
So, Robbie, do you think they run the table the rest of the season?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think they're in the championships. However, the AFC, the Bills look good.
I'm talking about the regular season. You think they go?
Oh, I thought you meant the whole damn table. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you think they're going to beat Buffalo?
Barring, Shaq, we talked about this. Barring an implosion, like a massive catastrophic set of injuries, barring any kind of variables to this conversation, like injuries or shit like that, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you're calling 16-1 right now?
Absolutely.
Okay. How much you want to put on that?
Well, how much?
You got money, bro. Let's go.
You're
got
telling
money.
me I have to win the next 7.
That's what you just said, isn't it?
So you're giving me a 7-leg parlay right now that at even odds, David.
Let's go.
That's what you're saying. That's
that's what you're saying.
That's insane.
It's not what I'm saying. It's what you're saying.
That's a 7-leg parlay at even odds, David. You know better than that. That's not math, sir. That's wrong.
$100, 5-1.
That is wrong. Cody, help me with this. A 7-leg parlay.
5-1.
Cody, jump in on this one. That's insane.
$100, 5-1.
Absolutely. Oh, I'll tell you what.
Basically,
hold on. No. To be friendly, I'll take your 5-1 at $50. That's
done. Done. Online.
Knuckles, done. Knuckles, sir. Knuckles.
To go undefeated.
So, for those of you who love this type of calamity, if you'd like to buy us a coffee, this is how you do it. Because Robbie doesn't need any more coffee, so I was lax to.
I haven't had any. Wait.
That's
no, I take it back. That's actually, you're right. I have. There's Coca-Cola. That's caffeine. I'm so stupid sometimes.
All right, guys, let's get this show back on track because this is not the Lion Show.
I hate being the one to say that.
Okay.
We don't play no.
So, guys,
18.
it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, and that's Fish's Catch. So, for those of you who might not know what this is a little part of the show where after the game, I rewatch the game and I kind of go through and I say, what was that pivotal landmark play that really maybe turned the tide or decided the fate of the game? One play where I could say it was kind of make or break time, and it can sometimes be nuanced or it sometimes can just hit me square in the face. And this one's a little bit more nuanced than the last few that I picked because this one was the 4th and goal, go for it. Sam Darnold throws a pass to Addison streaking across the middle. He doesn't catch it, and he gets popped.
He took some licks. He took some licks that game.
Yeah, but the flag was thrown. You know, it depends on what color jersey you were wearing, whether or not you thought it was a penalty. And it was really close. I think it was really close because, you know, it didn't look like he led with his head. It looked like he led with his shoulder. He just, you know, it did. But because of the penalty was called and upheld, we got another shot at it. And we immediately did a Sam Darnold special and got a touchdown. And off we went. So, guys, you know, David and Cody, you guys were there seeing it in real time and all that. So what was your thoughts on that?
I hated the call, but I will say this about it. It wasn't one flag. It was 2 flags. If it was just one flag and it was just one guy's angle, I might have had a little bit more of a problem with it. But at the end of the day, there were 2 flags thrown at the same, almost simultaneously. I think that and you could see it here, they'll throw 2 flags. I don't love it. I guess that they came up with an explanation after the game from the NFL. 1-2. See that? So look, it wasn't like one guy made a quick decision. 2 guys saw the same thing. So for whatever that call was, pussy call, weird call, spearing call, leaped into the guy call. At the end of the day, 2 refs called it at the same time. As a result of that, I can't argue with it too much.
Yeah. I thought it was the receiver was defenseless in the end zone. You're going to play cornerback, put your hands on the ball. You know, like if you're going to play that safety role, put your hands on the ball. You're still going for the ball. You're not supposed to be going for the player, right? I mean, that is the rule. So, in hitting him up top while he's in midair, right? Yeah. That's still a defensive player. That's a defenseless player. So, hitting him that high, which was definitely the right call. The ref do it.
But he got right up.
So
that's what impressed me. He got right the hell up. He took that lick. He's probably in a lot of pain right now. Like, goddamn, that hurt. And he didn't let anybody acknowledge how much pain he's in and just walked off that damn field. That dude took a lick.
And you could say it could be the same thing as when a cornerback doesn't turn his head towards the ball. Right? When he hits someone, you can call it that way too. So if the corner or the safety turned his head before making the contact with the contact, okay, that's pretty good play. But did you make a play on the ball or did you make a play on the player? And he made the play on the player, and he's defenseless.
Fair.
So
Yeah,
I want to make 2 observations about this play, guys. 2 observations. 1, damn it, Bradbury! It's fourth and goal from like the 3, and a defensive tackle jumps off sides. And we didn't get a free play out of that. Bradbury didn't snap the ball.
That was quick, though.
She didn't even flinch. She's just.
So here's one other thing I want to make an observation about. And this is me nitpicking, but Addison's running in the middle of 3 players. But watch who kind of streaks open right in front of him. Here's old Hawkinson going open.
I was banking on a Hawkinson anytime touchdown this game, and I saw that. I was screaming, throw the fucking football to Hawkinson. It happened twice on the same drive here in the red zone.
Darnold never disguises who he throws it to. He stares at them like a stalker. He's sexually attracted to them, stares at them.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how their secondary didn't understand who they were throwing to. Even in triple coverage, he still threw the shit. It's like that's his worst. Well, one of his worst habits that I've seen Darnold do is he like literally just, okay, you, I'm gonna send it to you. No, just you, and like it's ridiculous.
Hard to disagree with that.
How many sacks did we give up for? I mean, just throwing Reisner in the game, right, against a very good Jeffrey Simmons. Hey, this is your first task. Go. Good luck. You know, like I thought I mean, the run game probably wasn't there, but you can almost blame that on the running backs also. There's 5 to a line, right? And it wasn't always Jeffrey Simmons tackling Aaron Jones. But, yeah, just throwing him out there to the Wolves right away like that. First game, here you go. You get Jeffrey Simmons right off the bat. I didn't think he played too bad. I mean, Ingram, too. I think Ingram's PFF scores were going up the past 3-4 weeks, and they taken him out of the game. I like to see what they do in the future with that, how they play those 2 guys.
Right now, KOC saying it's rotational.
Yeah.
I hate that. Let the team have a building cohesive unit that's bonded together instead of that piecemeal bullshit.
Well, it could still be cohesive and already because I mean both of them been on the team for a couple of years now, and you didn't see nothing really wrong with Reisner. He didn't give up no sacks, right?
Can you see them being like chatty girls though in the huddle when they switch out like a guard? God damn, I'm glad you're back. That guy.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna be switching out during the game, but more so if I think we're probably gonna play Reisner next game, and if he starts to struggle, we're gonna switch back to Ingram. It's not gonna be during the game.
I would love to see an obvious passing play and have them send Reisner in to replace Ingram.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more about scheme based. If they feel like they're gonna throw more, they're gonna start Reisner. If they're gonna run, try and establish the run, they're gonna put Ingram in. We got sacked twice in that game, Cody. So, and one of them I got to throw on Darnold. Honestly, he ran into the coverage, into the rush. He kind of did that spin move he does, and he went right into the rush. Yeah. At the end of the day, the difference between Reisner and Ingram is that Reisner loses slower, right? I mean, I know I'm stealing that from other. But that's the truth, Robbie. I mean, that's what happens. But as an
offensive line, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you lose slow.
What you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you lose slow.
You can't hold up forever in that
that's
position.
Good analogy. exactly what you're supposed to do.
And what happens to Ingram is he gets when he gets beat, because he doesn't always get beat. Let's be honest about it. He does not always get beat. But when he gets beat quick. and there's guys in the quarterback's mug, and that's what happens. So you got to lose slow, and that's why Reisner's good at that. But he ain't real good at run blocking, bro. He's just not. 60.
Hell no. I think
All
Tavondre Sweat took him, moved him, and then grabbed Aaron Jones. I was like, oh no.
Tavondre Sweat too. Hey, good luck. This is your first game. So
All right,
But
guys.
we'll see.
Let's give out our game balls. So, Robbie, put your eye on who you want to give your game ball out. Shaq, lead us off.
So it was originally supposed to be Addison, but I'm gonna go with Harrison Smith. He caught another interception today, put him back into put him higher up on the Hall of Fame totem for safeties or DBs in NFL history. Like right now, Harrison Smith showing at an old age that he still got it. He may not have the speed, but he do have the instincts, and he's still giving us a little bit for the money we're paying him. So I gotta give it to Harrison Smith, the old veteran, Harry the Hitman.
I love
I
it.
feel like there's going to be a point where we could have a 30-minute segment on whether or not Hitman is a Hall of Famer. Who you got, Ronaldo?
We have Blake Cashman. The defense looks. They look. I mean, he had a sack. He had a couple of tackles for a loss. But let's just be honest about what actually happens when he's in the game. Their defense looks entirely different with him in the game. Whether it's because he's calling the green dot, whether he fills in the gaps, I can't entirely put my finger on it. But that defense has swag when he's in the game, and he's a difference maker. And as a result of that, my boy Cashman is the game ball winner for me.
All right. And our captain hasn't made it yet, so would you mind kicking off the game ball that Keith wanted to give out?
these are supposed to be my two, but all right.
Well, the reason I end up with this one is because it was my original game ball, but he had called it already. So we get to talk a little bit about Patrick Jones the second, right? I mean, what's he got on the season? 7 sacks, and they come in bunches. And I think it's a little unfair to the guy. We've had guys that look like him before in some ways, like Weatherly, right? Or I can't even think of the other dude's name.
Yeah,
but, yeah, right. So they get some sacks here and there, but you know what? The difference between him and Weatherly and the others is that he's actually creating some of these sacks. He really is. He holds the point on a run game really well, but he hadn't been much of a pass rusher before. And guess what he is now? He's turned himself into a pass rusher. He's developed. I'm not sure if it's because of coaching. I'm not sure if it's just because of the work he's put in, but the dude is actually playing football at a level that we hadn't seen him. He's developed. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the offseason with him. We've got other players waiting in the wings. We don't even have to talk about who that is. We know. But at the end of the day, Patrick Jones has shown out and showed up when he's in the game. And I'm pretty excited for him. Good for him.
And
Yeah,
I like that.
he's the latest installment of the player we're in the offseason. I say get rid of him. He ain't no good. And then he has a breakout year.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Cody.
So the Patrick Jones one's a really good one because on these multiple sack games, he is taking over 60% of the snap counts. On the games when he doesn't have any kind of sacks, he's under 30%. That's where he sits at. So when he plays majority of the game, he plays and he gets his sacks, right? This is when he doesn't come in, he's when he don't get his sacks. But my game ball is going to Van Ginkel. Ever since this dude's came here, he's been the best defensive player on this team, I think. And 2 sacks, 7 tackles, 1 for a loss. Man, when you needed that sack against Levis in that game, he was there to take it, and it swung momentum. All right, and I think he is a Pro Bowler. I think he is also a All-Pro first team kind of guy this year. The way he's playing,
Good guy.
And I like him too. Like he's really understated. He's not like the dude that you go out drinking with or whatever. I mean, maybe he is, but he's just a really understated guy. And I love that about him. I think he's a really cool guy to root for. So,
and he doesn't look like your average, like your linebacker, like size wise. He's very thin in a way,
But he's
fast.
fast.
But yeah, fast. And
Fast as hell.
I brought up that point about the Vikings defense. If you look at it, there ain't much big dudes on this team. It's all about speed and fast, right?
It's
And I think
velocity. That dude's got
and
velocity.
smart. They
He's
gotta
got
be smart.
velocity.
I like that, Robbie. Velocity is a great word for him.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. Fish, have you come around to Van Ginkel? You hated him at the beginning. You were dismissive at first, sir.
Well, I hate
think
the
we-
fact
God,
that
what are you
you're trying
thinking
to
about?
come in
Yeah.
between me and my
Yeah,
A1
shut up,
from
Rob.
day
That's all I
one,
gotta
but
I don't
listen,
see it.
man,
Bro, he's elite. We all
the
love
amount
that,
of humble pie that I have had to eat, Robbie,
bro.
is
Dude, do you know how much egg I have on my face? It's insane. I got like chickens and shit in my hair. Don't get me started. Good call. I was
between
gonna go,
him and Grenard and our run defense
Jones.
and who's that guy playing inside linebacker for us? I can't never seem to find him. But yeah, look, man, they're playing great. They're playing a lot better than I thought they could.
if
Yeah,
it wasn't, honestly, if it wasn't for Hard Knocks, I wouldn't have had the opinion that I did. Watching that show and seeing what he did, that dude was a beast. I'm glad we got him.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, at the beginning of the year, when we got all these players, we had to Google them. Let's be honest. Like, you had to Google who
Yeah.
these players are.
Hard Knocks for me. So yeah, I get it. Like I had no source of reference. Like, who the hell? But Cody, I was
so
with one. But my game ball, goddamn, this guy, the fucking it's gonna be falling. I'm old school football. I love hits. I love people that get hit and get the fuck up. Oh, Jesus, I'm not gonna live this one down. My
Hold
game
on, you
ball
gonna have to put this.
yeah, I know. My game ball goes to Addison. This guy is falling. I honestly
Love
still I don't care for him. I'm not a fan of his, but I was for this game. That dude took some hits. That one hit when he was in the air and they hit him right in his kidneys and he pretty much like straight scorpioned in half and just was like, I was like, bro, like he took a hit. You can't get any more football than that. He took a hit and got up. And then the end zone showed play that y'all showed, got right up. The dude took hits. I respect that. So my game ball goes to the dude that held onto the ball after taking a nasty hit. Goes to Addison.
What about his touchdown? You talking about his
Wait, no,
41-yard
stop. I'm
touchdown?
not talking about that. Wait, he was uncovered and wide the hell open and broke
He was
away.
uncovered.
And broke away. The dude's fast. You don't get game balls for being fast. You get game balls for taking a shit beating, and he did. Credit given.
He's a small dude too, man. I get scared every time he takes a hit. I'm expecting him to get hurt.
He's not,
I thought
he's
he was
not
injured.
supposed to.
Kidney hit? I thought he was injured. I was like, bro, that dude's
Yeah.
injured.
He ain't a big guy. When you see him on the field live, it's like, Jesus.
He's not supposed to take hits. He's a
Pop
possession.
Warner.
Go down.
So Robbie, I'm going to follow with that and say, you want to talk about humble pie? How much smack have I talked about this guy since the preseason? And I got to give my game ball to Sam Darnold, by God.
Oh, you brave.
And it's not. I mean, the stats aren't spectacular, but let me tell you what I saw in Skol, Vincente. Let me tell you what I saw was him extending plays, converting, getting first downs and on sneaks and using his legs every once in a while. And damn, man, I hate to say it because I still want Nick Mullins to start this week. But,
Me too. Me too.
But Sam Darnold definitely played well and did a great job doing what he does. And with that, let's just kind of go around. Going to lead off with you, Robbie.
Sure.
Give your final takes and thoughts at the end of this game. We're going to wrap this Titans game up and move on.
I was not a fan of this game. We should have beat the shit out of him, and we didn't. I don't like the fact that we're barely beating teams that are 2-7. I hate the fact that like most of our wins have come from teams sub 500. I hate that. I am not impressed with this win. I think we kind of skated by. Hopefully we fix some shit this week. So on the Bears coming up, we dismantle Caleb Williams. I'm not a fan of that 98-yard play. This game is going to be known for that. It's immortalized. Right now, we watch YouTube videos of the longest plays in NFL history. That shit's now on that. I hate it. It's now on that. Along with that damn friggin', what was it, Tony Dorsett run against us, the 99-yarder. So we have those two black eyes right now on our record. I'm not a fan of that.
I'm sorry, but Shaq, do you want to take umbrage with that? Because your guy has a longer pass play.
I mean, it's tied. Sam Donald did it first against the 49ers. But I feel like the Justin Jefferson one was more impressive because he actually shook defenders instead of just taking off.
I was thinking about Gus Frerotte with the 99-yard.
But that's what we did, and we're immortalized for that against other teams. Now we're on the other side of the fence. Now we have the black eye from that, and it's like, God.
So, David, what's your final thoughts and takes?
Well, look, we played 10 games. We're 8-2, and I know everybody knows that, and I know that doesn't mean a thing to guys like Robbie or Peterson or Hagar, but you know what? The 8-2 is a legit 8-2. It is not 2022. We are going out to leads. We're holding most of the leads. The two games we lost, we came back from England, and then had a 4-game respite after that and played the Rams on the road. Now, look, your anxiety is real, Robbie, and I get that you got it.
This is 2022.
I'm not done. I am not done. Guess who's talking now? All right. So when you're 8-2 and your fans are actually telling you how bad of a football team you are, all you do is go out and stack wins. It's football. and at the end of the day, we have 8 wins out of 10 games. And you have to beat the teams that you're given on the schedule. It's 2 straight road games in a row. We have a 3rd straight road game next week that we're likely to win. And if we do, that'll be a 4-game winning streak stacked on top of a 5-game winning streak with a 2-game losing streak through a tough schedule in between. That does not mean that I'm telling you that we're going to win the championship. It does not mean that we're going to beat Detroit in any game again this season, but it does give us a fighter's chance to do it. And if you're going to sit around and be woe is me about it, I don't know what the hell you're watching the games for, because it seems to me like you already know the outcome of these games. And if that's the case, stop watching, because I'm not.
Hold on, Cody. From week 1, some of us said we're excited to watch these games. I'm excited to watch the games. Hope? None.
Go ahead, Cody.
That was awesome. You do it again.
My biggest takeaway of this game before we move on to the Bears game is I want to start seeing that box score, that stat sheet, to reflect the actual score of these games. We're technically blowing these teams out, but these teams are still sticking around because something isn't happening, i.e. we're probably not executing on certain drives in which we should be executing on. All right, we blow these stats, so we blow these teams out, right? My biggest takeaway, I want that stat sheet to reflect that box score, all right? I want the score to reflect the stat sheet.
Shaq, it's been brought up, but us being 8-2, 10 wins in, how does that work in with your thoughts and takes?
So far so good. I mean, right now it's looking positive because a lot of us didn't have the Vikings making the playoffs or looking this good. So I feel like we're overachieving and can't be mad at it. I kind of feel like a 2017 type year, and it's looking it's looking good so far.
Guys, real quick, how many teams have we beat above 500? 2. The rest have been below 500 or at 500. We're not that fucking good. Brian, well said.
We can't hate who we.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you know what? The 2 teams that we beat that were over 500, we handled them. So, I mean, are you saying we didn't?
Guys, I'm saying this from the point of caring. I don't want you guys to get elevated based on record and get hopeful and happy and all this bullshit.
Okay, so what do we?
We're Vikings fans.
Okay.
I know, but we all have PTSD,
we're going to do this, right? Because you're throwing off the 2022 vibes, so we're going to do it.
Yes.
2024 versus 2022, we're both 8-2 at this point in time of the year. Here's a big difference. Our point differential was -2 2 years ago, and it's +74 now. I don't know how that happens. In 2022, 11 of our 13 total wins were by 1 score. Every loss was by 2+ scores. We've sort of inverted that. where we're winning big against some teams, and our 2 losses were 2 nut huggers. 2 points to the Lions, 1 score against the Rams. By the way, the Rams in the incarnation that they played us in, with that roster that they played us in, took those vaunted Lions to overtime. We're not too far off. So
we have a cupcake schedule, dude. We really fucking do.
I don't care if we've got a cupcake schedule. I'm throwing out facts and not opinion on that one.
I'm not either. Every team that we fought, like that we've win, most of them have all been sub 500. That's numeric fact.
We're playing the same schedule the Lions playing.
Shaq, I got half of that because it was high pitched. Repeat that, please, sir.
We're playing the same teams the Lions are playing.
Goddamn, Isaac Hayes. You went from one extreme to the other.
Skol, North Cephas. So
it's skewed data. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's not. You know what? It's not skewed data.
It is.
It's not. So you're telling me the Vikings had an easier schedule than the Lions. You're telling me that right now. You're saying that.
I don't have, David. I don't have that in front of me.
Yeah, well, you've said it 4 times.
Know.
You said we've been playing shit teams. You're telling me that we've been playing crap teams. If you're going to come out with something, back it up, because I don't think you're right. You're not backing anything up. You just said you couldn't back it up. You just said you couldn't back it up, Robbie.
Too fucking good. I don't care who they play.
You couldn't back it up.
Beating the shit out of them.
Going into the season, we were supposed to win 6.5 games. We were not a favorite in any game but one, the first game of the season. And guess what we are? 8-2. So don't tell me about strength of schedule, bro.
You're wrong. So much better.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Y'all feel the difference? It's so much better. And I'm gonna leave it at that. It's so much better.
Think about it. If
Shaq, you know what I'm talking about. Shaq, you know what I'm talking
other
about.
than your
so
face, it's more better.
David, I think you do too, and Fish, it's so much better.
But go ahead. Know what you're talking about.
Yep, it's so much better.
So, strength of schedule. I remember a couple of weeks ago, they did the strength. They showed the strength of schedule, and the Lions had one of the weakest strength of schedules, and we had one of the toughest. So, the Lions played all their weak ass teams up until now. They have their tougher teams coming up. I mean, I don't know how good the 49ers are, but they got to play Buffalo. And then they still have, 4 more divisional games, I think it is?
David, you might have won that bet. I didn't think they got Buffalo. God damn it, you might have won that bet. That's a good damn team.
I'll give you a chance to get out for $10 right now.
No.
$10, get out.
Sir, I don't welch on bets. $10 is nice, but $50 is humility, sir. I don't welch on bets.
So the 2022 vibes, we know how 22 ended with the 4th and 8. Where's my meme, Shaq?
Hey,
But we also started 8-2 in 2017 and in 2000, where the point differentials then at this point were plus 69 and plus 30, which resulted in 2 NFC Championship game appearances and losses. I mean, yeah, right. But the fact of the matter is that we made it that far. There's more similarities to one of those seasons, I think, than to 2022. Robbie, you disagree?
Moss, Carter, Culpepper, big damn difference than what we have now. Fish, I understand what you're saying numerically and statistically. I grasp that, but I was not a fan of Culpepper, but I was a bigger fan of his than I am of Darnold's, and there's a big difference between those 2 quarterbacks. I would kill somebody if you could do a little time switch action, Doctor Who maybe. I don't know. And if Culpepper was our starting quarterback now, I would be perfectly fine. I would be the biggest.
We're about to summon Keith, Robbie, because I'm going to say that 2017 we had none of those guys, and we were plus 69.
I'm about to say, yeah. I'm about to say, when did Randy Moss and Dante Culpepper play in 2017?
2017 we had dominant defense, and we had Case Keenum, Stephon Diggs, and Adam Thielen.
That's a good team.
In 2017, we didn't even have Dalvin Cook. He went out. What was it? Week 4 against, I think, the Lions. He injured his knee, and we were stuck with what's his name? Good running back. But anyhow,
Bennett.
Well, Peterson. I hate to say it, but in 2024, we kind of have a defense too.
Yeah, but this is 2024. Fuck 2022. Let's move on to the Bears game.
Let's go. Bears.
Huh?
Chicago.
All right. So let's do the preview. This week we face the Bears for our first time. It's our last away game for this 3-game road trip. So the Bears started off nice. If y'all remember, not too long ago, all 4 teams in the division were the top 4 teams in point differential. And they've kind of spiraled a little bit. They've lost their last 4. They're now 4-6. Kind of feels like it started with that Hail Mary against the Commanders. It's been kind of going downhill since then.
The draft.
It is a divisional game, though, right? It doesn't matter what records are, how teams are playing. When it's Vikings and Bears, it's always tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially
So, considering what they did, you guys, are you I'll start off with you, Robbie. Let's lead off with you. Are you surprised at how bad the offense has been, considering how they have Caleb, DJ, Keenan Allen?
I'm not surprised at Williams. I was never impressed with him in his last season at USC. It's Shaq, you can disagree with me all day long. He played like ass. He has so many weapons, but what people are saying now is that O-line is busted to hell.
It's garbage.
Yeah,
It is.
and the issue isn't Williams, believe it or not. I think the dude's got talent, and I'm not a fan of his. Those wide receivers, though, are like legendary. But the problem I feel that with the Bears is it's kind of like, in my opinion, a Dan Campbell they have a retard coach. The coach is ridiculously stupid. Also, they have had a different OC every single season for like the last 5 seasons-ish. It's insane. So, and somebody brought this out that they're going to fire the OC again. So, in theory, next year will be another rookie season for Caleb Williams because he's going to go through another head coach and another OC. He's starting from scratch again. So, again, not a fan. Sorry, sir?
Say it again, Cody.
They already fired the OC. Bears did. They did.
Jesus Christ. That's all right. So so the poor guy's going to go through I guess rookie season 2A, whatever. Anyway, the Bears should be better than what they are with the weapons they have. They have a very good defense. They're not getting blown the hell out most games. Their offense keeps them kind of in the game, but you have a rookie quarterback making rookie mistakes with a lot of talent, and the dude will get there. He'll get there. I just hope to hell that we injure him and put him out for the rest of the season, period.
Well, that's a nice note, Rinaldi. As Robbie said, their defense, they do have 17 takeaways, and they've only given it away 8 times. So they've got the 3rd best differential at +9. How do you marry that up with their offense?
Look at the problem. I think Robbie hit on it. What actually went on? They took their off season and put all their resources, or a lot of the resources, into wide receivers. Is that really the right thing to do in an off season with a rookie quarterback? If the dude had protection and they built that lineup, I think that we'd have an entirely different conversation going on, because they have a good they did put money in a running back, and he's pretty good, but he can't get off the ball. He can't get off the line. And that could help. That's the best friend of a rookie quarterback, right? Running game, a little management, a little bit of protection. I think you'd have a different offense than you have right now. So am I surprised at it? I am absolutely not surprised at what's going on with this team. It's what you'd almost expect to see, and that's where the real failing is with this. With their new regime that they have in there, they didn't have the foresight to understand how to put, again, for the Bears, how to put a rookie quarterback in a position to win. And it's a real shame to actually watch it, because obviously this kid Williams, he's going to be good, guys. I mean, let's just be honest about it. The guy's got talent. He's got arm strength. He can run. He could do some stuff. At the end of the day, if given the right system, given the right protection, given the right people around him, the right coaching, and we don't talk about, it makes me want to talk more about what we got going on, because KOC obviously has done the right things, right? We are up against watching what happens in a full rebuild versus what they call the competitive rebuild, whatever. And we all bitched about competitive rebuild, but at the end of the day, guess where we are and guess where they are. And I don't think their ceiling's any higher than ours, to be honest with you. We both have a rookie quarterback that were drafted in the top 10. We both have new head coaches. We both have new general managers. This team is set up as good or better than anything that they've done. And at the end of the day, the hires were really, really good, man. So, am I surprised at what happened in the offense? No. If they don't make changes, I think they're going to have problems. So as much as what Robbie said about having another head coach and another system that Williams has to go through, if he's as good as we think he is, he's going to have to be able to handle that and make it happen. So I'm kind of interested to talk to our Bears fan.
We're going to get there in a second, but first, Cody, I want you to tell me, with all that information, what concerns you about this game and what makes you confident?
So, like, again, the only thing that concerns me about this game is the stats versus the score. Like, I can see us having, like, these stats that show that it shouldn't have been a blown-out game, but somehow Chicago is sticking in the game with us. Right? They're a play away or they're a drive away. And I don't like that type of football. If you are an 8-2 team, your stats are there, but the score is not reflecting those stats. You kind of get that? Like, it should be a blowout. The stats reflect a blowout. So that's telling me we are not executing in certain points of the game, right?
Red zone.
Yeah,
We're
right.
failing in the
No
red
doubt.
zone.
No doubt.
What about you, Shaq? What are you concerned about? What makes you confident?
So what makes me confident about this game? I would say that Caleb Williams is a rookie, and the offensive line is beat the fuck up. So right now, it's looking like there should be no reason why we should let Caleb Williams go off. What worries me is the fact that if the offensive coach, whoever the hell he is right now, if they find a way to scheme around that bad offensive line and start doing more design QB runs, and then doing some trick plays, and then having Caleb just hit the open receiver, whether it be Keenan Allen or DJ Moore or Roma Doomsday, that's what's going to worry me, because they got more receivers than we got corners.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of scary, too, going up against an interim offensive coordinator, right? That playbook is going to be simple now. Right, it's going to be quick throws. What is the Vikings not good at? Stopping those quick throws, right? I mean, we watched it with the Rams when they just threw a 2-yard pass to Puka and he ran 19 yards of the field, or they threw a 3-yard pass, and the Lions threw a 3-yard pass to Amon-Ra or their tight end, and he just ran up the field for another 9 yards. So the playbook's going to be simple. I hope that doesn't hurt us, right? Remember, simpler is probably better than most complex. Defense is really complex. Sometimes maybe a simpler playbook beats that.
Which means that we're gonna be blitzing the entire time, and they're gonna do bullshit dump freaking screenplays. They're gonna burn our ass. I hope you're
Now
right.
Can they throw a dagger? All right.
Not only that,
that's enough
I would
fun,
say,
guys. Now it's time to get serious. It is time to Skol with the enemy.
go.
And we've got two with us tonight. So we're going to be talking to the Bears fans, give them a proper booing. Mike and Steve, here we go, fellas. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you for not drafting Jaden Daniels. Thank you so much. Thank you. For all Vikings fans, thank you. I had to say that to begin with.
So go ahead and give us a breakdown. Give us your backgrounds as Bears fan. Let's start with you, Steve.
Well, I guess Bears fan since birth, unfortunately. But,
okay. When was that?
Respect.
I'm 34, so it was 1990 back then, way back when.
85. I'm sorry.
I feel so old.
Just always a Bears fan. You grew up watching the Bulls, Bears, Blackhawks, Cubs. We hate the White Sox. Grew up right by University of Illinois, so you had to make your pick. And that's about it. It's been sadness a lot. It's been inconsistent. It's been what the fuck are the McCaskies doing all the time and questioning it, but that's about it.
Yep. What up, Reed?
What's going on, fellas? Glad to be here.
Awesome. Good to have you, buddy. Give us your background as a Bears fan.
Man, Bears fan since I was born in 1980. It's been difficult.
Alex, you're stupid.
Very difficult. I passed those sins on to my son as well. And so he's experiencing everything right now.
Yeah. At least you got the Super Bowl shuffle, which we're going to expect you to demonstrate later on.
You got it.
So, guys, you were in the green room. You heard us bring it up. I gotta ask you, because I kind of feel like if I could do a fish's catch on the Bears season up to this point, I would say that pivotal play was that Hail Mary from the Commanders. You know, it seemed like, we're, you know, as Vikings fans, we too have a large share of painful memories. So where does that thing rank in your pantheon of painful memories?
Good question. Very good question.
That's got to be up there with a double doink, I think. It's got to be up there.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
I mean, you know, the Bears played awful. It's coming off a bye week. You think you have it. To Hail Mary, only Aaron Rodgers usually hits those, you know, and you're like, okay. And then it just tips in the air. He grabs it. Then the Stevenson video comes out, and the inner coach in me is like, what the hell is he doing? You know, he could be out there. And then you start questioning, like, well, wait a minute. Why was Cole Kmet not out there? Why was DJ Moore not out there to play back there? Bill Belichick's done that with Gronk and all of them. Like, hey, let's put 3 guys that can catch the ball back there, and just you start questioning everything. And then it all goes back to what the hell they do in the bye week. You know, we win a few games and that bye week hits, and then they were like, let's not do what we were doing. And now all hell is broken loose. Fire OC. Eberflus is going to get fired. Caleb Williams was sucking. O-line, they haven't had the starting same O-line group since then. That Hail Mary just destroyed everything. And yeah, it's up there at that double doink. It's very painful to watch.
Reed, is it up there with Bartman taking that ball away from what's his name in the playoffs, the Cubs? Is it up there with that Bartman?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. The Hail Mary, the double doink. I want to say the double doink was 46 yards out, as well as the block field goal from Green Bay was 46 yards out. And then
I thought y'all had that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought y'all had that.
Yeah. It was tough. It was tough. And then the Commanders game, to me, that's poor coaching. And shows a lack of discipline on our part. And I just think a lot of that stems from the top, and it travels down to the players. But yeah, what were we doing on the bye week? Great question.
Yeah, right.
If Caleb Williams doesn't pan out, right, will you guys admit finally that quarterbacks go to Chicago to die?
Yes. Yes.
Guys, if I may, I have a question. Like, when I go to, I'm the resident asshole, clearly. I always go to sports bars. I'm talking too much shit to Bears fans. Actually ask them, but I'm saying this kind of in a neutral environment. When you guys drafted Caleb Williams, do you feel like that was the correct draft? I never get a chance to actually ask this. No, seriously, do y'all feel like it was the correct draft?
I would say yes in the moment.
Okay. Fair enough.
I wasn't about him at first because I watched college football. I'm like, wow, he ran to his mom and cried in the stands and did all this.
Thank you. Thanks. You're my new favorite person.
And his leadership stuff was being in question. And I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, should we get him? But then you start listening to him. He's getting coached up. You start listening to the players. I texted college coaches like, no, he's actually like this. And so I said, okay, let's just see what happens. You look at the film, you're wondering. And then at the time, they interviewed Cliff Kingsbury for OC. So you're like, wait a minute, he coached Caleb Williams. This would make sense. So at the time, you're like, yes, let's get him. He can do it. And so in hindsight, you could look at and say it could have been Daniels as the better pick. But I think Cliff Kingsbury is just a better offensive mind using what he's got. And I think that's why he looks better than Caleb Williams. And the O-line being hurt all the time doesn't help. Swift is not a downhill runner. He's a zone runner, and the O-line's not built for that.
Yep.
That doesn't help. So in the moment, yes, that was the right pick. And last week,
the guy in the corner X for the block up there is a US fan, so he's heavily biased. So just ignore that.
Or the fact that he actually watched Caleb throughout college.
No, I can't admit that I did that. Sorry, you're right.
Hey, before we get to the game, which should come up real soon, I just wanted to I have one question. When you look at the Chargers, do you feel like you should have went after Harbaugh instead of Eberflus a little bit, or does that bother you? I mean, he's got DNA there.
Can we curse on here?
Absolutely.
Fuck yes, we should have.
Like, y'all don't know how mad I still am that we had him in the.
Don't worry, we feel the same way. We
Yeah.
want a Harbaugh too.
I just think there's no way you draft Caleb Williams and then you stick him with a lame duck head coach.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
He's a moron.
And the staff from top to bottom, everyone needs to go.
Let me ask you something, Reed. It's only 10 games into his rookie season, but what are your feelings about Caleb? And if they were to fire Eberflus, how do you think that affects his development?
I think it helps his development. I think he's being held back by the coaching and the coaching staff because, to me, Eberflus is coaching scared. He's coaching not to lose, and it's causing us to lose close games. But I do think a new coach would definitely help Caleb Williams because Eberflus is not it.
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson could make you guys a problem real fast.
Where do you guys rank us as rivals in the NFC North? Are we behind, right behind the Packers? I know the Packers are your biggest rivals, but as a Viking fan,
God,
because we put the Packers up there with us as our biggest rival, I would say. Where do we rank for you guys as rivals?
I would say second. I would say just because over the years the Lions have not been the best. Now they've figured it out. But I don't. It is a rival. Don't get me wrong. But for me personally, I don't sit there and go. I don't like the Vikings, but I don't sit there and go fuck the Vikings. When I watch the Packers, I'm like fuck the Packers. Like you sit there and like
that's a rivalry. That feeling, that's a rivalry. So your rivalry, Packers. That's fair enough. That's the exact metaphor that I used a year ago. Like until you want to go across the bar and beat the shit out of somebody because they're wearing a Packers jersey or whatever, that's your rival.
Right. That's just my opinion. I think it would be second. Now, is it as intense as those? Probably not, but it still is. There's a lot of good games that have happened with the Vikings and Bears. Bears have had to win the NFC North, way back with Jay Cutler. The Vikings with Brent Favre had to go through it. So it's just always that you kind of never know what will happen. When Justin Fields was the quarterback, all of a sudden we start scoring a lot. You're like, oh, shit, wait a minute, because it's a rival.
What a waste.
What's your favorite memory, Steve?
I guess beating
Well, no, you weren't alive for 85, so you don't remember their defense just killing our quarterbacks.
No, I don't. I wasn't even a thought. I wasn't even a speck on the eye of anything. I did like
you, Reed.
Reed would know.
I'll have to go to 2007 when Adrian Peterson had 224 yards on us rushing. That was ridiculous.
Yes,
that was ridiculous.
Pretty good.
Let me tell you a tactical memory that I had. I believe it was 2018. It had to be 2018, where week 17 we were playing the Bears, and the Bears already had it locked up, and we were playing to possibly get in the playoffs, even though we didn't deserve it. And I said, the Eagles are streaking right now. They're coming in hot. If the Bears take the loss to us, they would get us in the first round of the playoffs and beat us. But if they beat us and the Eagles get into the playoffs, the Bears got to deal with them. And sure enough, the Bears beat us in the final week of the season. They got the Eagles and lost in the first round. And I was like, come on, listen to me.
I got another pretty big question. The beginning of the year, right? Off season, heading into the year. What did you guys think of the Minnesota Vikings then? And then what do you guys think about the Minnesota Vikings now?
I'll be honest. I didn't think you guys were going to be as good as you are right now.
We didn't either.
You still don't.
Don't do it. We were all like 8 wins. It was our ceiling.
Your defense is playing great. I think you guys are holding teams to 67 yards per game on the ground. I mean, that's how you win football games. That's exactly how you win football games. And I don't think anybody expects Sam Darnold to play that well. And you guys be 8-2.
I was saying we would love to trade places. We would love to be 8-2, wondering if we're that good. I'm the same way. I didn't think I had ranked them. I said probably. I ranked them like it'd probably be like the Lions, Packers, and then Bears and Vikings fighting for that third spot right then and there. Now you're talking about the Vikings up there with the Lions record-wise, but Sam Darnold was hot at the beginning of the year, which helps a lot. I know he's kind of fizzled a little bit, but that don't matter. You were hot. Your running game picked up. The exotic defensive blitzes that's been given and given O-lines fits and everything else and stopping the run when they need to. And just being competitive, too. That's the big thing. Like the Bears, these last few games haven't even shown that until this last week. So, yeah, I didn't think the Vikings were going to be where they were. And now you're here at 8-2 talking about the playoffs.
Fine. Two Bears fans. Who's beating the Lions? Legitimately. Who's going to beat them? Pick a litter, NFC. Pick a litter. Remember me. Two neutral people, two neutral opinions.
Not exactly neutral.
Well, I mean, they're definitely not Vikings fans.
Oh, so they
Reed, tell him who's gonna beat them. Who's gonna beat the Lions? Reed.
You guys, Minnesota can do it. Minnesota can do it.
I actually think Washington
go ahead, take that walk of shame, Robbie. Go ahead, take that walk of shame, Robbie.
God.
See, I actually think the Commanders are going to be a problem for them in the playoffs too.
Them too.
I just think so. But,
nobody talks about the Eagles. Nobody talks about the Eagles.
It's a lot of
don't
teams
sleep on them.
All right. So educate us a little bit on some Bears stuff, fellas, because obviously we're Vikings fans. But if either of you can give us something they do well and something that they don't do well.
Well, how much time do you have on what we don't do well?
About an hour.
My opinion is the defense is carrying us, but they can't do it all. We're putting our defense in a horrible spot with all the 3 and outs that we end up with, and of course that puts too much pressure on the defense. And if you can't put any points on the board, you're not going to beat anybody. I think on the offensive side of the ball, we suffer from not being able to execute. And you would think with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, Rome, there'd be a ton of more big plays. We have no big plays, no impact plays, and it just kills us.
Yeah, the Bears secondary is awesome. Like their secondary is awesome, but they've played a lot of snaps this year, and what's been hurting the Bears is the run defense. Like, you don't think about that with the Bears, but the D line is not doing their job. We have 2 edge rushers. It don't matter if the 2 inside guys can't plug up a hole. Offensively, when they decide to run gap scheme run plays, they're not too bad at it because that's what that O-line was built for. Quick passing game and stuff like that, getting the ball out quick, they're very good at it. But when they want to drop back and try to get a long pass, Caleb Williams was on the ball too long and everything else like that. But when they want to run gap scheme and all that, they're pretty good. They showed that last week, getting all the guys involved. Because that's what's been hard is we've watched an offense for weeks. Now we get a new guy calling plays, so now we got to see what they can do. But defensive secondary is awesome. They'll stop the run when they need to, but it just happens too late. So there's some good things, but a lot of things that's got to get fixed.
Yeah, that's what worries me is your new OC, their interim OC. I'm guessing you put him in there. Yeah. The playbook.
They're 6-1 in 5 years.
I think the playbook's going to be simple, right? Because it's in middle of the season, and the Vikings. What beats us is simple because the defense is complex. It's one of the most complex defenses in the league, right? But if you simplify your offense, I think that's what beats us. Like we watched the Rams game, they threw the ball, I think, probably to Puka for 3 yards, and he ran it for 9. And they were just dinking and dunking all the way up the field to score. I think that's what beats us this week. If you guys have that simplified playbook. And is get the ball out of Caleb's hands fast. Hike, boom, there's a shot. Because you're going to have those guys in the shorts open. You're going to have them open in the flats because we blitz. I think it's 56% of the time in the league, the highest in the league. So I think you guys get the ball off fast. I think keeping it simple might beat us.
Right. And so now you guys have film for one game of Thomas Brown calling plays. And what I talked about is in that game, you're not going to see a whole new different playbook. You can't put a whole new playbook in 3 days. It's not going to happen. But he's going to change how it looks, which he did. They motioned almost every single offensive play. That allows Caleb Williams to see what kind of zone it is. Is it man? It allows to move people around. And even Tom Brady said it. He's like, Caleb Williams is throwing the ball a second faster in this game. And that was what was helping him. 22 of 31, I believe. And he didn't throw an interception. And he was making decent decisions. And they finally started to run some zone run where he can make the decision and run it. And that's what makes him dangerous. And so if Thomas Brown, if that's what he wants to do, he has a whole nother week to do it. I think he will keep it simple. He'll give Caleb 1 or 2 checks. He gets the play in much faster. Caleb Williams said that in his press conference. Shane Waldron waited to give me the play. He goes, as soon as the ball was blown, Thomas Brown's in my ear already telling me to play 5 times. They get 25 seconds left on the clock. He can see everything. He feels more comfortable. So I think for Caleb Williams, you have to keep it stupid simple and just let him get comfortable and make it simple. And then just let DJ Moore make a play, Odunze make a play. Your safety blankets, Cole Kmet, Keenan Allen, can do that. So I think, and that is going to stop the blitzes. And the Bears run more screens than anybody. So this might be the game to do it if they're going to blitz all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were very competitive against a good team. I got to give y'all credit. Y'all were very, very competitive against a good team. If y'all get your shit together, I'm fearful. You have a good team. On paper, you have a very good team.
Yeah, but the head coach is
do y'all see yourself going up tempo in this game a lot?
Their newest one?
No, going up tempo. Do you see yourself running no huddle, get right to the line?
It seems to work. We tend to develop a rhythm. But I know with as much as you guys blitz and games in the past where Caleb holds that ball too long, it's going to be trouble. He cannot hold that ball 3 and 4 seconds. It's got to come out 2 seconds.
That's the thing.
And I think that's why.
Go ahead, Steve.
Well, I think that's why you didn't really see up tempo, but they were faster because Thomas Brown was so prepared in what he was going to call. And I think they were just more competitive. It was just a weird game because we wanted to win because it was the Packers, but it was 2 evils, right? If they win, Matt Eberflus should keep his job. And now this is going to be the conversation. So now when you lose, it goes, well, see what's happening. But Thomas Brown, I also think he's more energetic than Shane Waldron. You saw him in the press box. He was pumping his chest when they scored. So I think that's why they were more competitive. And so I think the up-tempo thing is just him getting the play in quick, 25 seconds left on the clock thing. Caleb Williams can now see it. They can make a quick check. That's how they up-tempo it.
No, down, motherfucker.
I thought you should yell at me.
No, dog. I'm telling you to get down. No.
I think your OC was doing really good because he has a game script, right? And he's kind of heavily on that script because he's still new, right? The new OC. So he's got to stick to the script. And I felt like with Waldron, you guys are okay, the script's not working, we're going off it, we're just going to do it, right? And I think it's benefits y'all to stay on that script, right? And that's why the plays are coming out faster because he already has it locked and loaded for the next play.
And what's helped is I know he was the OC at Carolina last year for a few games. I know it was Carolina, but they had nothing to work with. And they kept taking it away from him. You're not calling plays this week. And then 2 weeks later, okay, you're going to do it again. So he has an understanding of it. In Carolina, he was on the sideline calling plays. In the game, he was up in the press box. So I think that helps him think better. I think he has everything in front of him. He can just kind of go with it. And so he was just very prepared. And I think he probably learned mistakes from his mistakes in Carolina and then doing it against a fast defense in the Packers. And he took advantage of their man defense. Anytime they ran man and Caleb saw it, he took off. You got to make a decision. And so it was just awesome to finally see a competent offense. There was a couple drives they left out there, but for a first game, it wasn't called bad. For 3 days, not bad.
Again, I thought you guys had it. I really did. I was actually pulling for you guys because I hate the Packers more.
Well, with 35, not running the ball with 35 seconds left pissed me off too. What are you doing? Move closer or get to the middle. And and our kicker only kicks extra points from the right hash, and you're on the left hash.
It was blocked to be kind of tipped, blocked, tipped ish. Yeah.
So educate us a little bit more about the Bears. If you guys could give us a Bears player that we might not have heard of that could be an impact player. Somebody that could give us some fits.
Do we have any, Reed? I don't think we do. I'm trying to think. I don't think there is.
Yeah. Do we have any?
I would love to see Roschon Johnson run the ball more. He got a few more carries. He's that guy that's hard to bring down. I would love to see him get more reps in there. He always got like 3 reps. He got like 10. And you saw Swift out because Swift is not a downhill runner. He's your zone runner. He's a wide receiver trying to play running back. I would love to see Roschon Johnson play a little more. Booker, I believe, our Kansas guy from the defensive end, I'd love to see him more involved in the edge rush and making plays. But we're playing our dudes. Like, there's really nobody outside of that. I mean, Keenan Allen finally got involved. He'd be a guy that I'd be worried about. Odunze's figuring it out a little bit. So, and Cole Kmet's been quiet. So we got to find a game to get him something, but I don't think there is.
There's your guy right there.
Yeah, that surprises me that Cole Kmet is not as involved as he was last year because that's a huge weapon for us. Play action passes to Kmet. I don't understand why we're not doing more of that and getting him involved in the game.
See, now I gave you guys a question that's designed to let you stick your chest out a little bit.
We don't have much.
You guys are traumatized.
They're humble. No, they're humble. I respect it. Guys, real quick, a quick question. How long do you think Eberflus has in it? Are they going to fire him mid-season, or not mid-season, but before the end of the season? Do y'all feel that?
The Bears have never fired a coach during the season. And if you were going to do it, it was when Shane Waldron got fired. Like, that was your opportunity to say, you're done. Shane Waldron, you're done. Hightower, our special teams coordinator, you be the interim head coach. Thomas Brown, you call plays, and let's just see what happens.
So you don't think so at all? Reed, you?
No, they'll keep him till the end of the season because they don't want to have to pay him.
Fair enough, a business decision. I get that. That's fair.
All right, so let's have a fun question real quick, guys. Fun question. Name one player not named Justin Jefferson on the Vikings roster that you would love to have on your team.
Your offensive lineman, Christian Darrisaw.
Yeah, good answer.
Right?
That guy's been playing outstanding. And of course we could use 5 of him on our line.
So could we.
I thought you'd say Bradbury, but I'll leave it at this point.
Wait, even though he doesn't have no All Pros or Pro Bowls?
It don't matter.
Yeah, I'll take him.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure because, a lot of people care about that.
Yeah, I'll take him.
Can I take the whole D line? Like, can I take the whole D line with us?
Oh, you can have our D line. You can have all.
Can you name any of them? Because I barely can.
It's our linebackers that were kind of like, you can't have those.
Like, can we take Pace Jr. and just have him blitz the whole time? I don't even know.
No, you cannot, because that man is my baby.
Hey, for you guys Bears fans, what is one matchup that you are looking forward to seeing, and give us your prediction of the score?
I love these two. They're so humble and realistic. I love you both.
I bet you if we'd have caught him in week 4, it'd be different.
Score it up, Reed. Give us your score, Reed, and tell us why.
I love it.
Score, I'm gonna go with 27-13 Vikings. That's what I'm gonna go with. I think we're gonna, I hate to say it, but I think we're gonna revert back to our old ways. And 27-13 just sounds just about right.
Okay.
Go back to what make the Bears good. Defense and
running the ball.
Run that ball.
We've been saying that all year. When we were winning those games, we were running the ball, play action pass, get the ball out quick, getting guys involved, and then the bye week happens. I don't know what the hell happened there, and then they were like, let's change everything. Let's just not do anything. I guess matchup would be, how is the O-line and everything else going to match up against the blitz? And I want to see Cole Kmet go against the linebackers and get open and see what happens there. And Keenan Allen, those two. Like, everybody knows more. Everybody knows Odunze. I want to see what those two do. I want to see the O-line played better last week in pass protection. The tackles finally were healthy. They were playing better. It's just they still are banged up. Score-wise, I would say Vikings 28, Bears 21. I think they start to figure out how to score. But if you guys run the ball and we can't stop the run, and we still don't have Brinsker, like, we have not had him for weeks. This concussion thing is like completely taking him out. So we lose our leader. Kyle Gordon finally came back. Our linebackers are spotty. We're relying on our safeties and corners and stuff to come up and make tackles. That's just not going to work. But also, can we get pressure on Sam Darnold? Because if we start to get pressure on him somehow, some way, it does rattle him a little bit. So those are kind of the keys that I'll be looking at.
Sweet. Hey, guys, good stuff. I appreciate you guys coming in today. Cody has one last question for you, though.
Yeah, let these people, these Vikings fans, know what your podcast is and what time it starts. They won't probably watch it, just to let you know. Yeah, just let them know. And I need to let Skol from y'all.
Oh, God, I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know if I can do that either.
Resist the urge. Resist the urge.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate your time.
Guys.
It was awesome.
Pleasure.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Hey,
Appreciate
listen,
it.
Good job.
fellas, after the game, we do an aftercare. It's therapeutic for us. You know, we're win or lose, whatever, we do it every time after a game. So Sunday after the game, win or lose, if you guys want to jump back on with us and come back to talk about the game and talk about things that happen, we'd love to have you back. We'd love to have you back. And, you know,
Vent, talk shit, be realistic, whatever you got to do.
It usually takes me about 3 days to get over the loss.
but this will help. Let me tell you something, Reed. This
Calling
whole
sick
thing
to work,
started.
whatever.
That's what mine is.
Started after we lost in the playoffs to the Giants, and Keith was distraught. And I said, "We're going to get on and we're going to start this thing right now. We're going to do it because that's what it's for." And we both got on and talked about the game, and you know, it helped us really get past 4th and 8, and we worked, and then we were just off and running. So it's nice to be able to get on and talk and say, "Man," and "Damn," and "Yeah," and I mean, after that, after we beat what was it, the Jaguars, we were upset. We got on this thing, we were mad. But by the time an hour went by, we were laughing, joking, cracking up, and all that stuff. And it's good. It's good to be able to talk about it and say what you saw and all that stuff. So you're welcome. Welcome to come back. Win, lose, draw, whatever.
Much appreciated.
Healthy venting. We allow healthy venting.
Great stuff, guys. Thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, fellas.
All right.
All right. Man, that was
that.
great.
They were very humble. I respect the shit out of that. They were realistic as shit, too. They were like, "We're going to fuck y'all up and win the division." Like, they were, like, realistic, like, fans.
You know damn well if we'd have had them on after about week 4 or 5, it'd have been a different time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now they're just like,
you know it.
Back to reality.
Very knowledgeable, man. They were good. All right.
All right, guys. You know, let's go over a few stats leading up to this game, and then we're going to get into the matchups and the key points. So, on offense, the Bears are at 19.4 points per game. They're 22nd in the league with 289 yards per game average, 114.6 in the run, 174 in the pass. That's 22nd and 30th in the league, respectively. Meanwhile, we Vikings are doing 24.4 points per game, which is 10th. Total yards is 15th in the league at 341, with 116 in the run at 19th and 224 in the pass, which is 13th. So no barn burners going on there.
Keith changed that. That's like a few weeks old.
Is it?
Yeah, we got to move on. Let's go to Shaq's match.
All right, let's go to Shaq's matchups. Shaq, what you got, buddy?
So this game will be decided by Sam Darnold and JJ and our rest of our offensive weapons versus Jalen Johnson and the Bears secondary. So the only thing that worries me is the Bears have a great secondary. They like to get turnovers, and they can match up with most teams' offensive weapons. I'll say if we could, have JJ beat Jalen Johnson and then have Sandown start to, pick on the other DBs, that will help us score more points. On the other side of the ball, it'll be our pass rushers versus Caleb Williams. We got to make Caleb Williams see ghosts. We got to make Caleb Williams hold on the ball and make him think he got to get the ball out earlier than what he needs to do. Because if we could do that, and he is a rookie, then the game should be ours. It shouldn't even be close. The one thing we have to worry about is if Caleb Williams get out the pocket and start running, then that's gonna fuck up our defense.
Have we played against a mobile quarterback yet? Like a running quarterback?
We have.
Stroud.
Is Stroud a running quarterback?
I mean, he has a threat. I wouldn't say he's got that threat, but I wouldn't say mobile.
He's mobile, but
mobile. I think like Vic or Jackson. But
he's mobile, but he only uses it to like avoid pressure. He's not going to be actually running to get 10, 15 yards. He's not that type of
like Sam Darnold.
Basically.
All right. What about the other? Let's flip that real quick. What about our horrific secondary against their three very talented receivers?
Pass rush to get there.
Yeah, well,
assuming that variable exists.
I mean, like the Bears fan said, their offensive line is beat up. So if our pass rush can't get to Caleb Williams, then that's a problem. That's a legit problem. We're not.
And I said, they have three very good receivers.
I don't even care about their wide receivers because we've played teams. The only two teams we didn't play with good wide receivers were the Titans and the Jags this year. We played
Rams lit us up.
Yeah, but we've also played against neighbors, Wandale Robinson, the first game, and we went up against Jaden Reed with Dobbs and Watson. Then we went up against Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, and Tank Dell. And then we went up against – we've played good receivers. We can beat – our secondary can handle those good receivers. And this game's not going to worry me with these good receivers because that offensive line is so bad. We're going to be blitzing the whole time. Caleb's not going to have the time to throw to those good receivers.
That's what we hope
to see. And to add to that, the Rams have a veteran quarterback with the same coordinator for years. Caleb Williams is still learning the NFL. He's still adjusted to this offensive system. It's not like he's been in this league for years to be able to pick us apart. That takes time to know, to get a chemistry with the receivers.
So the intangible that we're hoping for is somewhat of an implosion of their lack of any kind of management instead of talent versus talent. That's all I'm trying to say. Our secondary is trash. Their wide receivers are not.
Yeah, we played. Flores has a big history of being good against young quarterbacks and being able to confuse them.
Are great. Our lines and our linebackers are badass, like top of the league. But our secondary, Jesus, I don't want to talk about it.
Every game this year, besides the Jags and the Jags, Colts, and Titans, on paper, every team has looked better than us on paper. If you look at it,
fair point.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not too worried about it. I think we're fine.
And we're
going to win in the trenches, boys. We're going to win in the trenches.
And we still lead the league in interceptions.
All right, let's get to the keys to the game. This is that Cody and Rinaldi segment where they go over the 5 most important facets to the game that are going to determine who wins. Lead us off.
Gotcha. All right. So I think the first key to the game that's super important, and the Bears always seem to be that team that finds a way to make takeaways. They're never like they're never the greatest football team, but they find ways to get takeaways. They have 17 on the year right now, right? And the problem is that they only have 8 giveaways. Now, the Vikings are number 3 in the league in takeaways, so we have to win that game. So to put it in perspective, the Bears are as good as we are, maybe slightly better in takeaways, but they don't give the ball away. We got to find ways to win that battle. If we don't, it's going to be the game that Cody does not want to see, that 16-12 game, that scorigami score. That's the only way I see these guys staying in this game is if we choke up the ball and don't get takeaways. And I know we say that every week. Oh, you got to win the turnover battle. No, it's a thing this week. This is a week where we have to win that battle because they've proven they're pretty freaking good at it.
Yeah,
we happen to have a quarterback who likes to give it up. So it could be a nightmare.
The stats shouldn't say 450 yards of offense and only 17 points scored. It should never say that. If you were putting up 450 yards plus of total offense and you only score 17 points, something is wrong, right? And it might be the takeaways this week. That's the takeaway. We couldn't execute, right? We couldn't get that execution down. So yeah, I'm big on that. The takeaway battle, it's a whole different game, divisional game, and Bears are good at taking that ball away.
All right, Cody, you're up, baby.
All right, so I mentioned this earlier. Key number 2, don't let the new OC beat you with a simple offense, right? It's going to be a simple offense. They're going to throw some motions like our guests were saying, right, to see what kind of formation they're in, what kind of defense are we in? Are we in man? Are we in zone? What we lost to against the Rams and against the Lions, they kind of simplified their offense down. They were just throwing the ball 4 yards. Here's 4 yards. See what my receivers can do. Yes, they have 3 good receivers, all right, on that team. Give them the ball at 4 yards, see what they can do with it. If I'm game planning as an OC against this Vikings defense, I'm getting the ball out quick, and it's only going to be a 3-yard pass, and I'm going to let my playmakers be playmakers, just like the other 2 teams did against us that we lost to. Well, that'd be my biggest worry. Don't make this simplified offense with this new OC beat you.
Yeah, man. And we have a defense that should be able to scramble it up enough to keep them off balance. And that's really all we have to do is keep them off balance, guessing, not understanding what's going on, even with that simplified offense. So you're not wrong about that. I'm totally down with that. Anybody else have a take on that?
You know what's beat the shit out of us? Like all year long, slants have beat the shit out of us. If we blitz them and all they do is basic bullshit slant, they can put up some massive yards on us, and that's my concern. Again, better receivers, shitty secondary, stupid bullshit slants are gonna fuck us up.
Middle of the field, bro. Middle of the field, dagger route.
I smell.
Oh God, we leave them wide open by 10 yards. I hate that.
That's what I was about to. I'm glad you said that, Fish, because the thing is, they have to call a dagger route at the right time. If they call it at the wrong time, you have Van Ginkel and Blake Cashman jumping those routes. And when they jump those routes, it could turn into a pick 6. So they have to call it at the right time. They can't just call it every play.
No way.
If we're blitzing, like you said, like 55% of the time, which I would assume that this game we're blitzing more than 55% of the time, like the odds are in their favor to call the shit more often than not. I'm just saying, like,
call it at the right time still.
My personal fear is our, again, shitbird secondary against their receivers. Hopefully we get to Williams, so this is not an issue, but that would be the only chink in the armor that I personally see. Receivers, secondary.
Yeah, right on. All right, so the third one is we have to establish a running game in this game. We have to. We need over 90 yards of rushing in this game. We had 60 freaking 2.
Where the fuck has it been? Are we like where the hell has
62 yards against the Titans, dude? That would be my biggest concern about that Titans game, and it's my biggest concern going into this game. If we can find a way to just make 90, 95, 105 yards, something like that, great. And on top of that, we have to improve on the short yardage. I am not looking forward to seeing a 3rd and 1 and missing it, or a 3rd and 1 at the goal line, or 4th and 1 at the goal line and missing it. We have to establish, get a little bit rowdy, be a little bit nasty and mean, and win the freaking line of scrimmage from the O-line. And I'm told that we can, that the Bears line kind of ain't great at that. But you know what? That don't mean nothing until you get out on that field. And that's what we've got to do. We gotta win with the rush, or at least establish it, man. Let's establish a rush. Anybody else got anything on that?
Nah, I'm with you on that one. Definitely establish the run. We need to see Aaron Jones come back to what he was weeks 1 through 4, right? At weeks 1 through 4, we are putting up pretty good points, right, against some pretty good teams. And he's kind of dipped off, right? And now the score is reflecting it, right? So definitely Aaron Jones definitely needs to get back out here. We need to go over 90 with him.
I'll say
who's the better running back? Is it Akers or Jones? As of like
It's Aaron Jones.
yards per carry.
Jones.
Who's the better running
Aaron Jones,
back?
100%.
Aaron Jones.
No,
100%.
not the better running
But
back.
Akers is a good switch of pace.
Yeah. You know, I always think of Akers as a bigger guy, though. But if you see him at the end of a run, he gets
He's not
picked
big.
up and thrown. He ain't that big. I thought he was a bigger dude, but he's not.
He's got it. He's like
one
the
cut.
talented
He's a
small
one
guy.
cut guy. He's a one cut guy.
The
And
Muggsy Bogues.
he's wiry. He's strong.
And he's patient. That's the bigger thing. I think he really follows his blocks well. So he's a pro's pro, but I don't know that he's not the guy we're looking for.
No.
So I say
We
the last
have
two
a lot of
games.
holes to fill. In terms
The
of
last two
the
games-
guy, we need holes. Like quarterback, running back. Like we're missing the guy.
So the last two games, we did go against two elite defensive line. They had Glover Stewart and DeForest Buckner, and then the Titans had Tavondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons. So hopefully we can get this run game going back against a not so great D line.
Simmons is a man.
Yeah, he's a man's man.
Both those teams are 2-7. We should have beat the shit out of them.
That does not have to do with what I just said.
Fucking does. They're trash
Has nothing to do with what you just said. All right, what do you got, Cody, on the last one, bro? What do you got?
Go ahead, Cody.
The fourth key to the game, I think it's the most important key to the game. It's attacking that garbage, right? That offensive line is garbage, all right? Even the Bears fans that came on the show admitted it. Keep attacking that offensive line, all right? Keep attacking that offensive line. I think we're going to have 5 to 6 sacks this game. I think it's going to be a lot. As long as we keep attacking that offensive line, right? Make Caleb Williams have to do Caleb Williams things like he was at USC. Because we watched him play at USC his final year, right? And that offensive line was garbage, right? Him moving around the pocket, they kept attacking it, and he had to scramble around everywhere, and he couldn't get the ball off, right? So
Right,
attack
to mama.
that offensive line, make him run to mom again, make him cry.
Yeah, man. You know, I always shit on the idea of pressures aren't sacks. And I think we do get 5 or 6 sacks. I'll even put a number on it. I'll throw out 5. But I do think pressure matters in this game. More so than most. You can scramble Caleb Williams and he starts seeing ghosts. He ain't going to have that. Even the 2-second throws aren't going to be there because he's going to be looking over his shoulder. So, yeah, man, I think we really got to find a way to do exactly what you just said. Let's just rock it.
Too busy painting his fingernails.
Not only that, so if we get him seeing ghosts, it might be, say, Roma Dunze is open deep, but he too busy scared. He checks it down to Rashawn Johnson. So instead of getting the 60-yard pass, he checks it down to the running back and only get like a 4-yard gain. So that's the pressures can cause.
And I ain't gonna lie, this Bears offensive line is so bad it looks like the Texans' inaugural year in the NFL.
David
Carr, baby. That poor son of a bitch.
Jeez, I forgot all about that.
All right, man.
I don't know,
Browns-
man. The Jaguars had a piecemeal offensive line a couple weeks ago too, and they
that offensive line is way better than what the Bears have playing on the field. Tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
So I say it's not that the Bears offensive line is bad. They on their backups.
Bro, that's
They on
bad.
their backups.
That's bad. That's like 3rd, 4th string practice squad. That's bad.
We better
That's,
show up.
That's anti-good there.
That's why I'll be mad if we don't get no pressure. I'm gonna be like, it doesn't make sense.
Then something's wrong. If
All
they
right,
don't get pressures, they're putting up yards on our ass.
All right,
Last
let's
key. Perimeter offense.
Yep.
Perimeter offense. All right. Get everything on the outside. All right. Let these DBs and their safeties try to chase us from the outside. All right. Utilize Justin Jefferson on the outside in this game. I'm telling you, that's what will win this game.
Hope
Right.
he catches the ball.
Utilize JJ on the outside. Right. Remember we were complaining about those streak passes and all that stuff that we were seeing with JJ. I mean, it'd get picked off here and there. This is a game where I feel confident that the perimeter offense throwing out that 9 route to JJ is going to be just fine. All right. And getting that ball to the outside when you're running the ball. All right. Utilize that perimeter. This is how it beats this team.
Yeah, it's starting to look like Madison running into the line, man. That's what it looked like last week. He just run into that big, squished up, muddied line, and it was a 2-yard run. We got to stop that. Get him outside. That dude can hit the edge. He's really good at hitting the edge. And for that matter, Akers isn't bad at it either. So I agree, but I really point to the running game on that as much as anything.
That pissed me off too. That running into the back of an officer lawn.
Horrible. I can't watch it.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right, let's get our gambling addiction on. Cody, you ready with your props?
Yeah, so this is just little props just for the show. Last week I missed it off of anytime touchdown. TJ Hawkinson could win $3,000 of $100.
30. God
yeah,
damn.
Sam Darnold didn't look at Hawkinson on that. Addison.
You mean he didn't stare at him lovingly? Is what you mean?
Yeah. But for the show, Aaron Jones over under 2 receptions. What we got?
I'm over.
2 screens? I'll take 2 screens. The Aaron Jones, no, he has a lot of receptions this year. Believe it or not, he's like 2 weeks ago he was our second highest receiver on our team. 2 weeks ago, I would 3.
So if he gets
that's
2,
a push.
Does that count as over?
I was about to say that's a push. I would push that.
It's 2.
I think he gets 2.
I think he's going to have about 5, to be honest.
Wow.
5? That's a lot.
Yeah,
if their secondary is that good, then Darnold's going to have to take what they give him.
Fish, Cody can.
When has Donald ever done that?
5. That's like 10 to 1, bro. That's a lot. 2 to 5 is like a lot. Cody, go ahead. That's like 10 to 1, bro. Right? Like ish. Yeah. Holy shit.
I'm gonna go with the over on this one. I really like 3 or so. I think we're gonna see 3 receptions from Aaron Jones this week. All right, and it all also depends on his usage of actually running the football. If we don't see those receptions, because if you utilize him, you see in the Aaron Jones thing, they use him like a workhorse in that first half, and then the whole third quarter he's like not even playing in the game. Right?
He's a very good receiver. He's a good receiver. A very good receiver. He's got good hands.
Yeah, he's better than I thought he was as a catching back.
All right, so next prop. TJ Hawkinson over under 40 yards receiving.
Wow. Seems
I'm
like a
going
lot.
over on that too.
Yeah, man.
Right, he comes out with that 19-yard game, comes out with that 75-yard game the next, and then he's below the 40 again.
That's not even average.
What do you think?
Over.
Go over?
Yeah, I'm going
I would
over.
say too, because I'm a firm believer if you get TJ Hawkinson moving in this offense, then maybe we'll see the score reflect the stat line.
Darnold has a hard-on for Oliver. He likes Oliver.
Well, Oliver's playing pretty good.
I'm just saying Darnold has a hard-on / staring lovingly like everything else at Oliver. I have noticed that.
He's a big target, man.
That's your third weapon on the field, right? Like that. I don't get why the ball isn't going to Hawkinson's way. Like when we were in the red zone against the Titans last week, when the play on the penalty and the play directly after that penalty, he was in the middle, just wide open, not even getting the ball thrown to him. Like,
I think maybe there's a little bias from Cody because he really needed that to win. When Cody was yelling, "Throw the ball to Hawkinson" every play.
Well, he was wide open. I don't get why are we not talking about it? Right?
Darnold plays favorites. He doesn't target Hawk. Like he loves JJ. I mean, like again, lovingly JJ. He loves Oliver as well. Like if I was gonna do like an over/under type shit, and Oliver is kind of like, of course, the second T. I would look at that as far as Moolah goes because he likes Oliver.
He does. The problem with Oliver is he's injured. So he was limited. He was limited in practice today. So that's the only thing that scares me about Hawkinson, or maybe it's better for it. I don't know. But
Oliver's injured. The dude's a house. How the fuck is he injured?
Yeah, he's injured, man. I think it's his hand, but I mean, whatever. I think he's got 2 things: a hand and a knee. But
dude's like 3% body fat. I mean, like I'm kind of jealous to be honest with you. Like how the fuck? Like seriously?
He's a stud.
Yeah,
but
do you kind of find it crazy that every time, like KOC, yeah, look at Addison more. Then he's starting to throw Addison the ball more, right? Or
Almost
when
killed him.
he says he's sick of these 80 to 90-yard games, he started throwing the JJ more, right? Is Darnold hearing that and going with it? Okay, Addison's mad. Throw to Addison more this time. JJ's mad. Throw to JJ now.
No,
It
he
seems
still tries to force it to JJ. He still tries so hard to force it to JJ. It's ridiculous.
So-
Again, it's the staring shit that pisses me off. Like mix this shit up at all. Like he oh god, I hate that. Like, just
I doubt-
JJ.
I doubt he's hearing it, but I think some of this stuff is obvious. It's like you got Jordan Addison. How do you not throw him the ball? You got TJ Hawkinson. How do you not throw him the ball? So I think as fans, we want to think they're listening to us, but I don't think they're listening to us.
KOC came out. I mean, listen to the players in KOC. Like KOC came out before the Titans game talking about Addison and Darnold need to throw it to him, right? And what happens? He threw to Addison, right? Or when JJ was saying he's sick of these 89 yards games, he threw the JJ had a career game, right? So it's a little weird to me that maybe he is a one look guy. All right, this guy wants the ball. I got to look at him now. He's telling me in my ear hole.
He's hitting in death traps though. Every hit that he throws to Addison, it's like either right in the middle or right where he's about to get the shit popped out of him. Like he must hate Addison. He must hate him more than me.
Okay, so here's what's up?
I was going to say real quickly, and then Keith sent us a video of Josh McCown, our QB coach, talking to Sam Darnold about that dagger play where Addison scored. And he said Darnold had texted him. He's like, that dagger play, how about that? And then they used it in the Titans game. You can see it on, what is that, NFL Films or mic'd up, however they do it nowadays. So I feel like it's we had talked about this last year. You had brought it up. It's like, does KOC just have his quarterback look at one player and then call the play? And then if it's not there, force it? And I kind of feel like Sam Darnold forces it with his arm talent because he doesn't want to deter from the original play call. That's how I kind of see it.
He thinks he can throw every pass, bro. That's the problem. And he's got the arm, but the problem is he's not that accurate. And to Robbie's point, I obviously don't think he's trying to hurt Addison, but he's not that accurate. So he's throwing passes that might get guys hurt. Yeah. Right. So
I actually think he doesn't process fast enough, to be honest with you.
I agree with that.
I don't know how he's not in ICU right now. I have no idea. That dude took some hits that, like, even I was like, oh, dude, like, do we send you a thank you card and shit? Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, he's throwing him right in the middle. You're double covered. You're about to get fucked up. Fuck it. I'm going to throw it. Oh, we all were like, oh, I don't need to see that shit again. I felt for him.
Here's a prop that I didn't want to put on here, but I think it's reasonable to put on here. Vikings 3 and outs over under 5.
God damn, that's high as fuck.
That's not high. How many over outs? 3 and outs did we have last week?
Fair point. Do we have that many?
Yeah.
It seems like we drive down the field and then throw an interception. I'm freaking me.
We actually don't have very many long sustained drives on the season.
the thing. Yeah.
Really?
I'm taking the
Score
under.
and turn it over. We either scoring or turn the ball over.
Well, yeah, we don't have long sustained drives that end up in points. That's where we get in trouble.
The Lions last week, I don't think had a 3 and out the whole game.
Jesus. I think they get when we were playing the Jags, because we had this god awful 18 play drive against the Jags, and they said something like this is only the third drive of more than 13 plays that we had on the season.
Mm-hmm.
At that point. So I mean, we just don't grind the ball down the field. We either quick strike or we don't.
Yeah. So and I'm gonna say a push here. I think it will be 5, and I'm leaning on the over, just because the stat line shows that we should be winning with 30 points on the board, but we only have 17. And that's the problem that I'm getting with the Vikings team.
We're missing an awesome kicker. I will say that our badass, awesome, perfect-ish kicker.
I'll take the under on that one, Cody. That one
I'm
scares
taking
me.
the
I'm not-
under.
I will
Yeah.
too. I will take the under as well. The Bears suck balls. If we can't get an under on that, we need to reevaluate a whole lot of shit.
The Bears are weak against the run, right?
I mean,
Like,
the Bears is up there with us in turnovers. Do turnovers count as 3 and outs?
no.
No. I mean, assuming we do 2 plays and throw a pick, yeah.
Well, there you go.
I mean, we said the Bears suck, but so did the Titans, Jags, and Colts, right?
Those are horrible teams. We should beat the fuck out. Let's not talk about that. Let's move on.
What else you got, Cody?
God.
Well, now, right now we're back to there. Like, oh, miss shit. Maybe we didn't play as good as we should have, right?
2-7.
Sam Darnold rushing touchdown over under a half. Like, is he going to get one?
I'm under.
Over.
I'm
I might
under.
make that a
Over,
hot take.
baby.
We're going to go over? Take over, too.
A hot take.
Under.
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 He's the only guy that
That
can
was a
score.
fluke. Dude, see, how many has he had all season except all right, if we erase last game, how many has he had outside of the last game? Yeah, we're all thinking, let's just go with this many.
Zero. Yeah, but I'm saying after last week, this is why this number's up here now.
Statistically, let's go down.
Did he get one?
I mean, besides Jalen Hurts, how many quarterbacks actually
You
get
shut your evil mouth, sir. Don't you compare those two.
If we can't run the ball with Aaron Jones in the red zone, why can't we do it with Sam Darnold?
We
I mean,
should be able to,
Good.
We
but
should.
We don't.
We should.
but we will.
Okay, we should. We could.
I think it's the plan, bro.
Why do we
The
push
one
push
aspect I
on
wish we
2nd and
did
1?
more.
Dumb shit.
All right. Great stuff, Cody. I might actually get on DraftKings this week and bet that.
There we go.
I hate those commercials.
Me too.
Good.
Well, guys, I think now's a great time to do some hot takes. What do y'all think?
Yo.
Hot Tua takes.
Hot Tua takes.
I want to lead us off if y'all don't mind.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So the reason why I said under on the Sam Darnold rushing TD is because finally, despite what we say about their secondary, Sam Darnold is getting this game done with his arm.
God.
He is finally going to throw for more than 330 yards.
Oh,
He's going to throw for 3 touchdowns or more and 1 pick.
3 touchdowns or more and 1 pick.
Holy shit. That's astronomical, bro. You're an optimist. I salute you.
330 or more yards through the air, 3 TDs or more, and 1 pick.
Cody, you got one?
A hot take? Oh yeah, I got a big hot take.
Go for it, boy.
It's not really a hot take. I thought we were going on predictions, but yeah, hot take. My hot take will be the Vikings. I don't know if it's even hot because we've been doing this, but the hot take will be the Vikings will have more than 375 yards of total offense, but only score 17 points.
That's fair. That's kind of fair, though.
That's not really hot, right? It's
No,
like
it's fair.
it might hit. Okay, better yet, they will score under 22 points. We'll say that.
17
Over
is fair, bro. I was with you.
and scoring under 22 points.
Dig it. Shaq?
So I say to Fish's point, this is not the hot take point. Every time we make a prediction about Sam Darnold going for 300, he does the total opposite and has the worst game of his career. But my hot take is 3 Viking players will have a rushing touchdown. Sam Darnold, Cam Akers, and Aaron Jones.
Damn, better bet that.
Shit.
Like that's like plus 3,000 right there.
Probably.
I like it.
I'm
They
going
did.
the other route. You guys are fixating on the offense. I'm going the other route. Like, I am not confident about our offense whatsoever. Our defense gets 7 sacks. 3 of them come from Van Ginkel. 7
Dang.
7
We
sacks
fucked them
and how
up.
many from Van Ginkel?
3.
3.
That's a parlay.
Yeah, I said 5-6 on the Bears chat. Dang. All right.
I mean, to be fair,
Caleb,
Caleb has been getting sacked that much in games.
we're badass. Our linebackers, I have a heart on for them. I love them. I love our linebackers.
All right. I have my hot take is that we win on the last play of the game.
Oh, with that shitty kicker, please no.
We have a walk-off win in this game. That could be in overtime. It could be a field goal with a second left. It could be a walk-off touchdown. We win on the last play of the game.
Bro, we have a substitute teacher of a fucking kicker right now. Oh.
All right, David. So with that, lead us off with your prediction, David.
Yeah. So the score is going to be 19-17 Vikings.
God, that's so bad. That's a kicker shit. Oh. You evil bastard. No.
Jack, what's your prediction, buddy?
The score would be 24-10 Vikings.
Nice. Solid win against a divisional rival. Come on, Cody, throw that cold water on it.
So this is us. Prediction will be 20-17. We will have 200 more offensive yards than them, but the score will say 20-17. That's the Vikings football.
Robbie, I think I found your burner account.
Yes, sir.
It's Cody.
We're similar this year. I'm going to go. I'm sticking my heart on with the defense. Yes, I said it correctly. I'm going to say 24-0 us because we got those 7 sacks.
A shutout.
Yes. When was the last time we had a shutout? It's been a long damn time.
Last year?
Raiders, right, David?
That's a while. Oh, God. David, weren't you at that horrible ass game?
Yeah, and I predicted a shutout last week. I predicted a shutout last week, so that's kind of the same thing.
To be fair, shutouts don't really happen like that in the NFL.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm going way out there.
George, we're going to win still. I'm picking us winning 20-17. We're still going to win. I'm at high. Win's a win, man. That's what we've been saying the past 3 weeks, right?
Sub 500 team. Cupcake schedule.
Cupcake.
All right. 42.
Let me phrase that. Cupcake occurrence.
Hang on, Robbie.
All
Go
right.
ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, Robbie, go ahead. Give your prediction, buddy.
I'm saying no, it wasn't prediction. I said cupcake schedule. Like y'all were fair. I'm gonna say cupcake occurrences would be more fair. Sorry.
All right. My prediction is going to be 42-10. Vikings win.
Woo! Smoke City.
I hope that's it.
I hope that is too.
Yeah.
I hope we're going off for like 100 yards less than their offense too.
Yeah, man.
That happens. Then just flip it.
Off the ropes.
Well, guys, let's bring it home. Robbie, lead us off with some final thoughts.
As much as I covet them, as much as I admire their GM, as much as I admire their draft pick, fuck the Lions.
Nice.
Yep. Fair enough. Shaq, what you got, buddy?
Thanks for everybody who joined us tonight. Shout out to Coach Steve and Reed, Chicago Bears fans, for giving us their input.
Thank you.
Wanted to bring up, I forgot to mention, a key play that's on Chicago we should be looking out for is Kyler Gordon, a safety that is used like how we use Josh Metellus. So he's going to be all over the field. He might give us some problems. He might not. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You can also check us out on Buy Me Coffee at Let's Go. You can check us out on TikTok at Let's Go. And we're trying to grow this thing. We are nothing without our fans, and we're trying to build the fan base right here, right now with all you. Thanks for everybody who joined us tonight. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. David.
Of the Lions.
I just wrote down Kyler Gordon's name, Shaq. So thanks for doing that. It's kind of cool. I have a take that is kind of interesting in my opinion. It's probably, in my opinion, my favorite take of mine tonight. if you go back to 2022, we had no right being 13-4. We were not a 13-4 team.
Fraudulent.
And I don't think anybody disagrees with that, including you, Robbie.
I totally agree.
I'd go a step farther. In 2023, we had no right even being 7-9 with 3 quarterbacks and starting the season off at 1-4. We had no right to do that. None.
You're right.
And this year, you might argue that we have no right being 8-2. We may not be a real 8-2 team. I would disagree with that, but you might argue it. So having said that, if you look at our team, we give a lot of credit to Brian Flores and the defense and all that. But you know what? KOC is our head coach.
He's a badass.
He's a fucking winner. I don't care what anybody says. We had no right in any of those 3 seasons to have the record we walked away with. And I give that credit to our coach. That's a KOC thing. And that's my walk away tonight. You better love this team, because eventually when he has the team that's supposed to be 13-4 or 15-3 or whatever the numbers end up at, that's going to be the year that we take it, because we got the head coach that can do it. Don't underestimate what we've done. This is
well said, sir. He's a very good coach. I agree with you there. Very good coach. He makes the most.
I still wish we had Harbaugh. No.
Good job, David. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Go ahead, Cody.
There you go.
All right. So, again, my biggest take is going to be, I want to see that stat sheet reflect the score that we have. Right? I don't want to see it. I don't want to see us throwing up 400 yards of offense, but only scoring 23 points. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Man, we should be up more in those points in the scores. So I want to see this offense this week. I want to see him executing, right? Executing in the red zone. Other than that, let's Skol. Don't beat your dog. Don't beat your wife. Don't beat your kids. It's the weekend. Stay safe. If you need a ride, call a cab or an Uber. Get home safe. Enjoy your shit.
All you.
Just beat your meat.
Cody Bowden, the life coach. If this podcast thing don't work out for you, you've got a great future on the circuit, sir. So we want to thank, the 8 of you that are still with us, and we got as high as 20, I believe, tonight. And I want to thank you for tuning in to us. Let me tell you something. I met Cody and I met David over the weekend, and they're all right. Yeah, okay. No, man, they're great. I look forward to meeting the rest of you. I hope that we get to a spot where we get to go to more Vikings games. I would love for this thing to get to that point. And I would love to meet the people that we get to read the comments from. So that way we can put a face to whoever we want to knock the hell out. No, I'm kidding. But
Fish, if I may, I've had the same pleasure of meeting Lo, Link, and Nick as well, and going to games with them all. And I am very, very appreciative of this fan base as well.
And I just want to know that when Cody decides to run for political office, I'll be his bodyguard. He don't need Secret Service.
You don't need Secret Service?
I got him.
It's so funny.
Robbie, here's the story. Real quick before we end this thing. Here's the story. Cody and I, David had gone to eat dinner, I believe, with his wife and his other friends that came with him. And we were going in. Was it the Lucky Bastard, Robbie?
Real quick, I hate the 3 of you for not inviting me because I live as close as you fucks do. I hate being left out.
You don't need to be invited. You should have let us know you were coming.
Cody, was it the Lucky Bastard?
I hate you all for life.
So Cody goes up to the doorman. Doorman cards him, pats him down, lets him go. I step up with my ID in hand. The doorman does like this.
Oh shit!
And I was like, man, I said,
"You're gonna look at my
feel
shit,
left
sir.
out.
You're gonna look at my
left
shit,
out."
Sir.
And the doorman said, "Man, I thought you were his bodyguard."
Oh.
We had people coming up to us at the bar thinking I was in the mob.
Yeah, then some lady come up to you and say, "What do you do for a living that you got a bodyguard like that?"
Why did you play that out? That's been free other the rest of the night.
If I had to tell you, I'd kill you.
Hey,
And then there's that one lady who was flirting with us, and that dude comes up and says, "Hey, don't forget, you're here with me."
Yeah, I rubbing all over your leather jacket. She was into you. She was definitely into you.
you
Bro.
single people, I don't get it.
Well,
Bro.
but to 20 more years, fellas.
20 more, baby.
20 more.
Thank you
Let's
for
go
joining us, everybody,
everybody.
and let's go.
Let's go.
Go.
Go get drunk.